Hang on, let me refresh your page.
I should be live now, so you can see.
Why am I so stupid? Fuck, hang on.
Yeah, I should be live over there. So if you want to come up and talk, you're gonna have to go over on the YouTube. I'm not gonna bring people up on I'm sorry, the YT. It should be up now, guys, because I see myself. I see 2 people on right now. It is in my bio, guys. I mean my profile. Okay, I see. Okay, I see my people over here. All right, y'all. I see y'all over here. So people that's watching on TikTok, hopefully they don't shut me down for this. You can still listen, but if you want to come up at any point, come on over on YouTube. Look at my profile. Thank you, Pooh. Look at my profile, and once you get to my profile, you'll be able to just click the YouTube, go on over to my YouTube. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Make sure you like the live. Y'all still waiting? Hold on.
I don't know how to get in here. I mean, I'm looking at you.
So I'm about to put it in the chat, Attorney Star. I'm going to put a link in the chat for you. Once I put that link in the chat, just click that link and then I'll bring you up. I just posted the link. No, I can see you. Y'all can see me. Can y'all see me and hear me, the people that are in YouTube? Volume is Hold on, y'all. My volume was off. That's why y'all probably can't hear me. Okay. All right. Can y'all hear me now? I can see. Okay, great. Hello, everybody. So we're over here. Okay. Hey, Susu. All right, guys. So Attorney Starra, I just had her up. Hey, Attorney Yates. I'm gonna bring Attorney Starra up first. Hi, Attorney Starr. So, okay, same questions from TikTok. Help us out. I can't hear you, Attorney Starr. There we go. No,
and while we are looking for
hold up, y'all.
more specific language, I just want to point out
that's
to
Miss
the
Love
court.
Line. Yeah, that's Miss Love Line, child. It still says y'all waiting. Hold on. In stream. Y'all waiting on YouTube? Someone told me they can hear and see me. They say you're muted. Now, y'all know I'm new to this, y'all. We working out the kinks over here. Okay, they can hear and see me on YouTube. Okay, good. Okay, we're going to get Attorney Starra situated over here. Attorney Starra, I'm going to bring her back up now. Hold on, let me make sure. Did you make sure you'll, I can't hear you. I'm in, and you're muted. Attorney Starra is on the stage at the moment. Okay, great. Thank y'all for helping us out. I mean, helping me out. Y'all know I'm still figuring all this out. Why y'all saying I'm not showing on YouTube? Because they in the chat saying they can hear and see me. Oh, Attorney Starra, they said give permissions for your microphone. Yay, found you. Welcome, Kari. Unmute the sound by the pause, they're saying. I'm not on mute or anything over here. Yeah, I'm good over here. This is me asking my daughters to show me anything. Listen, we're going to figure it out over here, though. The YouTube is Millionaire Male. It's in my bio. Woody said, H. Bizzle, don't come in here with that. So, yeah, I was getting all of these messages saying Woody posted you on his page. He posted you on his page, but I went to the page that I had, and I didn't see anything. So, I'm like, what are they talking about? When I finally saw it, I ended up seeing it on one page, but the one that tickled me is the one where he said how I look when somebody say they're going to do something to me and they want smoke. I said, sir, please stop. Lacey Ann, we're all mad. Attorney Starr, say something. She's like, wait a minute. She's like, wait a minute. Hold on.
Hear me?
Are you on TV?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Okay.
Okay. I don't know what I did. But guys, let me tell you something, because I am like sitting in my bed. Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting in my bed and I was like, oh, let me grab something from over here to like move my computer up because I'm like literally in bed. Do you see what this is? This is the box for my Saint Laurent wallet.
So should we charge you?
I mean, apparently. Okay.
Listen. Hold on to turn the star. Let me tell everyone something. Everybody that's on TikTok, I only stayed on TikTok long enough for people to follow us on YouTube. I am trying to save this live for people who aren't able to catch it. So Attorney Star is on YouTube. So some people just said they wanted to stay on TikTok. I told them I'd keep the stream up just for that long. Thank you, Erica. Erica just posted the TikTok. So I don't, Eric, if you could just pin something that says that we're on YouTube for me, please. But yeah, we're on YouTube, guys. So I'm only saving it so y'all can listen in. Okay, sorry about that.
Okay. All right. So with regards to like what happened at the end, the distinction that the judge is making is like, so what she's saying is that they found out through Moon Tung's testimony, and I guess whatever this conversation was, I really should move. But, and through whatever conversations they had with Moon Tung about this information. But here's the thing, that's not really true, because they did not find out that these emails existed, and those emails are Brady. Like,
so, you know, Attorney Star, I'm so happy you said that, because I feel like both Max and Brian were trying to say that to her. Like, yeah, we may have found out, but we didn't know that these emails existed. I felt like they were trying to say that, and I'm not sure why she acted like she just didn't get it.
I really don't know. I mean, this judge is not a dummy, right? Like, she's not stupid. She used to be an appellate attorney. Like, she should know this. And it's like, it doesn't matter if they found out during this, because my understanding is what they found out is during the June meeting that he had backed away from these things. Well, the fact that he's backed away from them more than once, including apparently in December before the plea was entered, is additional Brady. And that may be the thing that they didn't specifically articulate, is maybe what they should add is like, yes, we found out in June he said these things, but we did not know that even prior to December 28th, that there was email back and forth, because I don't know the dates on those emails, but you know, we are aware that during the plea hearing, they had some kind of conversation about it. But like, to me, it is additional Brady that even prior to that, there was discussion about it. And like, this is just unequivocally Brady information. Like, it just is.
Okay, well, so explain that to us, because for lay people, we heard that there's a difference. Brian still said it's not a violation because he found out about it, but he said they had an obligation to Brady. Can you kind of explain that for us?
Yes. And I mean, like, sometimes stuff like this, I could see how you could make a mistake like this. I mean, not here, like, this is extreme, but like, so Brady is mitigating or exculpatory or impeachment evidence, right? Okay. So these are impeachment of Moon Tung to the extent that he adopted any of these acknowledgments. And like, you know, okay, obviously it was developed both on direct with Love and on cross with the defense, that like he had attempted to back away from these statements. Mm-hmm. That doesn't change the importance of these emails. So they're mitigating and exculpatory and impeachment because they contradict his statements in the acknowledgments to the degree you can even consider those statements, since he didn't really make them, he just adopted them, but like, whatever. It's just, I mean, Brady could be a million different things. Like, it's not like an easily defined term. And like, this is something that I didn't always understand at the level that, like, you know, it takes time to understand all of these things. And it's like because what Max Shart was saying is, or Brian Still said this too, is, well, what if I had never talked to him? Then I wouldn't know this, and the emails do exist. It's like,
listen, let's not forget, Brian Still said that how can we just hang on the fact that Jeffrey Williams has Keith Adams as his counsel or Brian Still? And I feel like that's what Paige was saying. Oh, well, he has really great attorneys, so I know you guys would have figured it out. I'm like, how is that fair?
That is an absurd thing to say. And, you know, Weinstein wisely was like, okay, well, give me all of the communication, because this probably happened with other plea agreements. And like, one of the things that like Love suggested, because she knows the game, is an in-camera review. Well, that's BS, because the judge ruled on this incorrectly. So I'm not going to trust a freaking in-camera review of a judge that apparently doesn't understand the exculpatory value of this. Like, I mean,
so let's go back to the in-camera review. Was she trying to let Paige read the email before she shared it, or asking?
Yeah. So in-camera review, like, this will come up it doesn't come up that often, but it comes up where it's like, okay, here's some kind of piece of information. Okay, for example, like NCIC TCIC. So that is, and I think the law recently changed on this, but NCIC TCIC is literally, if you run as a prosecutor, investigator, cop, the criminal record of someone, right? So it used to be that, like, and I think there's some changes on this. Now I just get them from the prosecutor. It used to be that in order to turn that over to the defense, the state had to have a court order, because that is like a document you don't want just handed out to everybody, right? So the judge would like look at it in camera and determine that it could be handed over to the defense, because obviously they need that information. Because I need to know, like, one of the things that you request is the criminal history of any witness, because certain kinds of convictions and things like that could be used as impeachment evidence for like character for truthfulness, right? So the fact that you have a felony conviction for theft and you are a witness doesn't mean we can be like, okay, well, you've been convicted of theft. Tell me what happened, blah, blah, blah. But what you can say is you're a convicted felon and you were convicted of a crime of moral turpitude, because theft is a crime of moral turpitude. You can't get into everything that is in someone's criminal history, right? And so you would take that to the judge and allow the judge to order it over. So in camera is just like the judge is reviewing it outside of the parties to make determinations about things, right? And so that's why she wants to do it in camera, because the judge is like misunderstanding this. So she thinks the judge is gonna save the hoe again.
Yes, let me tell you, when Miss Love, ultimately, when it was time for her to respond, and she said, "Oh, well, you've said everything that I was going to say," I'm like, girl, stop playing. No, she didn't. She did not say everything that you were going to say. What happened was you just said,
because she doesn't understand the value of these items at all.
It's too much.
Because the fact that she turned over those emails, I mean, I'll tell you this, it tells you that she literally doesn't understand her obligations.
Well, let me see. Yeah, I'm trying to look. Let me get to the chat real quick, because I want to see if somebody said something, because I'm trying to understand. Didn't they just have a Brady training? They just had a whole Brady training. So my mind is literally wondering, why didn't you turn this over after the training? It should
have been turned over as soon as this training happened. But like the fact that she didn't understand. I mean, because how would we know whether or not she had those emails unless she turned them over? So it's like she doesn't even get the value of the emails. Like she doesn't even understand, because she could have just pretended not to see them, because it's not like it's above her or below her to pretend like she doesn't know things.
I want to know, someone asked, so when Montone's lawyer was on the stand, they asked if he breached any attorney-client privilege. No, because when they were in that meeting, remember, he was saying that it really couldn't be attorney-client privilege because Miss Love was there, who else was there? The investigator was there. So he says that y'all know him. He did talk a lot. He did take a minute to get to the point,
Well-
like Miss Love, but he was trying to explain that question was twofold for him. But
Well,
ultimately, no.
Well, so like attorney-client privilege is something that the client can waive. I can't waive that except in extremely limited circumstances, right? So even though the client has gotten up there and said this, it's still not really up to his attorney to waive it. And so, like, statements that were made in that meeting by Love aren't attorney-client privilege, obviously, because she doesn't represent him. And so, even though Sledge has testified about some of those things, it's still not up to him to decide what all. I don't know. I was thinking about that while I was watching that. I was like, that's complicated and not an issue I've never dealt with, because this is insane. But like, I don't know. I'm not. I'd have to look into that a little bit more. I understand the distinction he's making. I'm not sure it's correct. I don't know. My answer on that is I'm not totally sure, because I've never seen anything like this. Like, I'd have to like research it. I mean, because like, you're waiving your privilege. Like, you know, if my client and I and somebody else sit in a meeting, like the person that's in the meeting could be asked about things that he says, but that person's not the attorney. So I think he's waiving privilege as far as like statements he made to Love, but not like, it's not his attorney's job to waive that. Does that make sense? Like, Love could, it's very hard to articulate, but I think, you know, he still has an obligation, but like, Love could be asked about things. I don't know, it's complicated.
I do think it's a complicated situation. I think it's messy for her to have had the attorney up there, because to me, I think she's trying to clear her name.
That's all she's doing.
It's not doing that.
No, all it is drawing attention to like her misdeeds, and then this email thing coming out as a result of it. I mean, you know, she may not get her day in front of this judge in terms of getting what's coming to her, but when an appellate court gets a hold of that, they are not going to view that the way that judge
wants to. I don't think so either. Someone on TikTok said that she said they think she forgot what was in the emails. I think so too.
I don't think she even read them before she forwarded them
either. I think she brought these emails and was going to just throw them in his face, and did this happen, and she did not realize, girl, you gave them the rope to hang you. Like,
well, and again, like, I come back to the point I made in my video today, which is that, like, why are you having these conversations with just his attorney? Like, normally I wouldn't bring my client into plea negotiations, but when we're talking about this kind of thing, you would want to do that, because you'd want to know what this guy's gonna say. And it's complicated, because it's like, he might be saying things and then all of a sudden a deal falls apart and he said all these things to the state, right? So you have to, like, I mean, because I've done this before. I did a video about it where, like, my client agreed to testify against his co-defendant. And so we did a whole interview where I was present, the detectives were present, the state was present. So everybody knew what it was he was going to say. And then he backed out at the last minute. But, like, that's the way to do that. Like, I would never proceed like this without having, if I were the prosecutor, without having spoken to Mungtung or gotten something with a lot more clarity from his attorney.
Well, I think Mungtung did a great job on the stand today.
He really did.
Saying that, he said that had you come and spoken to me, then I would have told you what to put on here, but you didn't. And he said, but I wouldn't have gotten that deal either. I said, okay.
Yeah, that was 100%. He nailed the answer to that question.
Oh, he did. I said, okay, Mungtung. I think today, he said he'd been up there 4 days. He was absolutely tired. He's tired. It's been 4 days. Get me off the stand. And she refused to get him off the stand.
I mean, there's just too many possibilities to even contemplate as to the fallout from all of this, because it's like, okay, I mean, yes, Mungtung got up there and testified to certain things that would be a violation of that agreement. But here's the problem. It's like, when you have testified truthfully and acknowledge things, it's just like,
I don't even know what to say. I'm like, I don't see these things every day, because of course I'm not an attorney, but
I don't see these things every day, and I am an attorney.
It's just too much. It's too much.
I really don't know what to make of it.
Y'all don't be petty. Tap the like button. From my understanding, the like button helps me get into the algorithm so that I can keep making these videos. Tap the like button. It's almost 600 people in here. I can't see where the likes are, but I'm looking at the comments, and they said the likes are. I think they said they're at 92. Oh, that's not. Y'all, come on, help your girl out. Okay.
I mean, I'm just kind of speechless, honestly, and I don't know how to wrap my head around everything that happened because I've just never seen it. This is not something that happens, guys. Like, this is not something that happens. Like, I mean, yes, there's bad things that happen all the time in the courthouse, but like most of the time, prosecutors are not trying to like put exclamation points on things that didn't go well for them. And that's what she was doing today because she's completely self-possessed.
Something's wrong. And hold on, let me say TikTok. I'm talking about over on YouTube. Now, TikTok is not playing over here. I'm at like 24,000 likes on TikTok. TikTok is not playing. It's my YouTube people. Y'all gotta come on with it. So it's not TikTok. Y'all over here cutting up. It's YouTube. We trying to get the likes up on YouTube. And I can't see them, but thank you for everybody in the chat that's pointed out.
I'm
out. Tay Nicole, what goal did I reach, Tay Nicole? Can you tell me what goal I reached? I'm so sorry, Attorney Star. I'm
looking at the comments to see.
Please, y'all, get me to the like, get my likes up. But I'm trying to see what goal I reached over here. Thank you. I'm trying to see what's going on over here. Yeah, I'm behind. It's literally 500 on TikTok, 600 over here on YouTube. So I am trying to read all the comments, guys.
Okay, I see somebody saying, is there anything Steele can do to go above the judge in regard to the Brady violation? Not right now. There are certain things that you could theoretically go to an appellate court while something is ongoing. This isn't it. That's going to be strictly an issue for the appellate court. And, I hope that they remember to go back in tomorrow and offer those for the record, because even if they don't get in front of the jury, they need to be a part of the record for the appellate court.
I'm sorry. Did y'all say I hit 1,000 subs on YouTube? Did I hit 1,000 subs, y'all? I can't see it. I know y'all like, girl, we're not trying to hear this, but y'all can't be putting this in the chat and not want me to respond. Yes, the other voice is Attorney Star. We're on YouTube, guys. Thank y'all so much. Oh my God, y'all! I was expecting to hit this goal September 30th. Oh my God! Thank y'all so much. Oh my God! I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry to get y'all off. Hold on, Attorney Star. Sorry to get everybody.
Speaking of narcissists, look at you.
Wait, are you calling me a narcissist?
Never.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
I was like, wait a minute.
It's just all about you, isn't it?
Oh my God. Look, at this very moment, it definitely is. It's all about me and this community over here that I'm building, because y'all do not play. The goal was September 30th, and you guys got me there like way ahead of time. I'm not, listen, Attorney Star already said it's all about me. I'm not going to be on this live crying and cutting up on here, y'all. Attorney Star, what's your YouTube?
Oh, I don't have
YouTube.
I don't do YouTube. I guess I need to figure that out, but unfortunately I have to have a job. So eventually I'll figure that out.
You got to figure that out like ASAP.
I know.
You got to, what? Big Dookie, what are you talking about on here? Hold on. Okay. All right, let's carry on. Thank you, guys. I was catching up on this chat, and I'm seeing all of these comments over here, and I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, yes. All right, Attorney Star. It's back on you.
Well, I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't know how to wrap my head around what happened. And like the judges, response to it. Like, and it's not, I mean, because sometimes you've seen times where it's like she's clearly annoyed with the state and still going with them for whatever reason. This didn't even seem to be that to me. You know, it seemed like she just thought the defense was crazy, which I don't understand.
I'm still lost at kind of what was going on. Hold on, let me just say something, because they are being a little aggressive on TikTok and on YouTube. I hate to be this person, but this is my platform, and every time I have a win, I'm gonna celebrate it, especially with the people that's helping me get to where I am, because I'm not doing this by myself. I'm gonna definitely show appreciation to everybody. It is not about wasting anyone's time, because that is not my purpose, but this is my platform. Y'all not too much in these comments. Not too much in these comments, because if it's that serious, what we can do is if it's just a matter of you guys not wanting to be here, we can start y'all another live. But listen, I'm gonna celebrate all my wins, especially with everybody in this chat, because they have definitely been getting me to where I gotta go. So I just wanted to say that, because y'all getting a little too spicy in here. I don't take too listen, I'm acting like Moon. I'm not taking it kindly.
No.
So all of this stuff in these chats. Woo! But okay, back to business. Let's get back to business, because I feel like Memphis is trying to come.
My boyfriend just walked in. I was like, you gotta hear the song we were so inspired by today. But then he looked at me and walked out. He's sick of me talking about this shit.
Attorney Star, they want to know if you think that this case is would it be good for an appeal?
Yeah, there's just, I mean, the only question I have is like, so when an appellate court decides to overrule something, you know, normally in an appellate brief, I mean, there's going to be way more in this case, but like, let's say there's like 5 grounds that they're saying the case should be overturned on, right? Sometimes the appellate court will not want to address all of them because they're complicated and they can't figure them out and whatever else. So they'll just pick one that is like, oh, here's an obvious issue that this is going to be overturned on, right? Like, it's just like, ooh, this is super obvious. And they won't even address all the other ones because they'll say that they're moot. What I'm curious about is when the appellate court addresses this, if they're going to go through all of this, because I think they might as a rebuke to what's been going on.
I think I don't know. I don't know.
My boyfriend is also a lawyer, and we've had this same discussion because he has to listen to me talk about this shit every day. And I mean, the other thing you have to keep in mind is that this RICO statute, I don't know how many cases they've tried, you know, under this statute, because I don't know how long it's been around, like the Georgia one specifically, because to me, there's some stuff in here that might potentially be unconstitutional. And, you know, I don't pretend to understand it enough to like feel confident that that is a thing, but I do think it is a potential issue. Which is why, as much as I don't care for him, like a Trump kind of situation could create an interesting appellate issue where this particular Supreme Court might be more interested in addressing the constitutionality of this RICO statute. I'm sure you understand why.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we have to get to a trial on that first, and God knows, you know.
So are you saying that if the Trump issue goes to the Supreme Court, it could potentially maybe spark some change in the RICO statute?
Invalidate the statute, yeah. Because when I read it, I'm like, there's so much here, and I am not pretending to fully understand it. I do not. It is an incredibly complicated statute. I don't deal with RICO. It's like it criminalizes things in a way, like, so a law has to put you on notice of what is a violation of the law, right? You know, like literally you have to, like, the law has to be clear enough so that a person would know they were violating it. There's stuff in here that I'm like, I'm not so sure it meets that. So
and as an attorney, you shouldn't feel like that.
I mean, I look at that law and I'm like, what? Like, I don't really grasp it. And, you know, like, I'm not here to tell you I understand every law on the books,
Mm-hmm.
but like, usually I'm like, okay, I have a general understanding of what they're criminalizing here. I don't even feel that way about this statute.
So in thinking about the RICO statute, and I'm going to segue over to Miss Love definitely showing today that Moontung has violated that plea agreement.
Well, I mean, there was a section of her questioning of him that was clearly intended just to make that clear. But, you know, as I've said before, like the way that plea, and I'm surprised the defense hasn't mentioned this, because when I read the transcript, it really jumped out at me, which is that the plea agreement changed in the middle of the hearing. I mean, me and you have talked about this previously, to where initially he wasn't going to be on probation for the weapons charge, and they changed it to where now he is. And I don't think he was properly advised of his rights on that. And I'm surprised the defense didn't capitalize on that, because to me, it shows how quickly he was just like, I'll sign anything. To me, the fact that that deal changed in the middle of the hearing really illustrates that. But, you know, there could be something I'm missing about that makes me not fully appreciate why they may not be messing with that. I don't know. But what did you ask me?
We're asking to see, well, outside of us bringing out the fact that she definitely tried to, I mean, I feel like she was just letting him know, like reminding him, hey, remember, if these things are not done, baby, you're going to jail. So the question is, do we think he's going to jail?
Well, okay. First thing first about that, though, is that bringing that up in front of the jury does not help her. So that is like, she is, to me, when she asked him those questions this late in the game, is completely designed to illustrate her personal animus towards this individual, Moontung. Because to me, it makes her look even shadier than she already did after going through all of this and be like, and reminder, if you don't do what we said, you're going to prison.
She definitely did that.
I would back away from that if I were her, because if you want the jury to believe anything that he said, you wouldn't be reminding them about that.
He has it hanging over his head.
But beyond that, because the plea agreement changed in the middle and he's now on probation for that second offense, it's not up to the state to dismiss it. It's not. It is up to the judge to decide if he's going to violate his probation or not. And that is a much more interesting question, because you'd have to have an evidentiary hearing about it.
Okay, wait. That's great. Let's break that down, and for both
okay, let me explain how probation violations work. So
we are giving us this with the knowledge that he's currently on probation. Okay, guys. So if you guys are in both of these, the information he's giving us right now is with the knowledge that Moontung is currently on probation. So she is going to explain to us probation, violation, and how that works.
Okay, so let's say you're on probation, and a condition of your probation is that you can't have alcohol. Okay? And you're getting tested while you're on the probation, and you test positive for alcohol. That is a violation of your probation. That does not mean you're going to get maximum prison sentence on your case. What that means is that then the state would file a motion to adjudicate or revoke your probation, and then you're entitled to a hearing in front of the judge to determine two things. Did you violate your probation, which is by a preponderance of the evidence standard? It is a lower standard than trial. Trial is beyond a reasonable doubt. Preponderance is more likely than not.
Okay.
And then even if you did violate your probation, it's still in the court's discretion as to whether or not to revoke it and send you to prison. And then third, let's say the judge decides you revoked your probation, you should be revoked. The judge does not have to sentence you to your maximum prison sentence. The judge can sentence you anywhere in the punishment range. But I do think his punishment range is enhanced because of his prior convictions. But I don't know Georgia law enough to understand what his minimum is. But I think it's more than, it would normally be because of his criminal history. But also there has to be certain findings. So let's say you've been to prison twice before. Like in some states, that'll enhance your punishment range. And so you pled true when you pled to your case that you got probation for, that you had been to prison before. Then your punishment range is enhanced. But if you pled guilty without those enhancements on the indictment that you pled to, then your punishment range is still back to the lower punishment range.
Okay, back to a lower punishment range.
But I don't know the specifics of that.
Oh,
I'm
you
just,
said you didn't know the specifics of it. Y'all,
yeah, 'cause I tried to download the damn judgment, and Fulton County took my money and didn't send me the judgment. So
sounds about right. I'm sorry. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. I almost said Pacific. I almost said Pacific. What did he say? What did Montoon say, y'all? He refer you do it. I refer you do
a
it.
lot of people say Pacific.
He said I refer you do it this way. Oh my! I'm telling y'all, it's so many parts of Key. Did you get some timestamps? So many parts of Montoon's testimony today that I thought were really good. I really did.
I agree. Well, and people have been asking if he can get out of this plea agreement. I kind of think it's possible because I don't think he was properly advised of his rights, and therefore his plea wasn't knowing and voluntary. However, all that does is put him back in jeopardy for a RICO and a weapons charge. So it's like all for what, you know?
So when you say he wasn't properly advised, are you talking about his attorney or
The judge did not advise him. I can't speak to his attorney because obviously that was not on the record. But again, it's possible that there's something in Georgia law I'm missing. But like my understanding is that you need to be told, I mean, I know that this is universal. You need to be told like what the consequences are, like what your punishment range is. So let's say your punishment range is 2 to 20. In court, if the judge said your punishment range was 6 months to 2 years or, 25 to life or whatever, you're not being properly advised of the consequences of your plea. And so what he was told in the plea is that, he's entering this plea on the weapons charge and that the state could still null process, but that is no longer correct because a judgment was entered. So it is not possible for the state to null process unless there's some unique thing in Georgia law that I am missing. But I doubt it because a judgment was entered. So I don't know how the state, once a court judges you guilty of an offense, you may be able to get the case dismissed depending on the type of probation that you're on.
okay?
But it is not up to the state to decide that because there's a judgment.
I was just about to say it goes back to the judge.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the judge that was at the sentencing which would have been Glanville.
But there is a recusal on file. So I guess I don't know if it would be this judge. Well, because he was recused as a part of like the whole thing. There is a recusal in that file. But what is interesting to me is they may not put it in front of Judge Whitaker because she's the one who actually heard this testimony. So, she could potentially be recused out of it. Who knows what the heck she would do. I mean, that's kind of you got to know your judge situation.
I don't even know how to read her right now, especially after today.
Well, because I thought, sorry, I'm talking too much, but I thought up to this point, I was like, she keeps doing stupid stuff to help the state, but she seemed really sick of love. But after today, I'm like,
Well, it takes me back to so many people. I think you guys are probably just seeing it. We covered it a couple weeks ago. Takes me back to Ashley Merchant saying that when judges feel that the defendants are winning, they do not want to cause a mistrial. They'd rather get that guilty verdict. And today, it just couldn't have been more evident, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, and I don't think that Ashley Merchant is wrong. It's just like this situation, and that might be something where, you have one or two situations that I'm like, oh, this could be a mistrial, but do you guys really want that,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but like here, we've just reached a point of absurdity with a lot of this. Well, and I see
having it's going to change. I mean, not change. How are we still have 100 more witnesses? Yeah. How? I think I did a video and I was like, can we get a 403 waste of time objection? And right after I said that, Keith Adams was saying this is a waste of time, which it turned out to be something that really helped them. But I think they're just kind of tired of doing this.
Well, and they also had no way of knowing that it was going to eventually help them. Like that was kind of because you heard Max Sharp when he was like, well, we just got an email that's Brady. It's interesting. And you could tell he was like, I cannot effing believe that they actually sent this to us.
Yep. That's I don't even know. I'm gonna bring Attorney Yates up. I don't know if she's
well, and she's in Georgia, I So maybe she'll have some insight on this whole if a judgment is entered.
My bad, y'all. My MacBook ring, my cell phone rings to my MacBook. Hold on, I'm trying. There we go. I can add Attorney Yates up. So go ahead. You know the questions to ask that can kind of better help us understand.
Well, and her and I have talked a little bit about this, but like, have you gotten any more insight on if they can null process this with a judgment? Because I have tried to find the answer because I feel like that should be easy to find, but I haven't been able to figure it out. I mean, I know in most states, I don't think you could, but.
So I've talked to a couple people and all of us have had different answers. And that's the problem.
That's crazy.
Because there's so many ways that this could have been done to make it a lot clearer. This is muddy water all the way through. I mean, it's going to be confusing for whoever deals with it later on. Mainly because since they run
currently, by the way,
since they run consecutive, technically he's not on the second probation yet.
That's
He's only on probation 1. Probation 2 does not start until he has completed the RICO probation, which could end as early as 3 years. And this is my theory.
Okay.
It could end as early as 3 years if he does everything right, doesn't get any violation or doesn't have any revocations within 24 months, pays all fines and fees, restitution, whatever.
Well, and there is something on the transcript, by the way. The state said that they would not object to early release after 10.
Yes. But Georgia has a behavioral incentive date and probation now. If
10 years. Yeah.
The 3 years, but it's very strict. You can't have any new charges, have to have all restitution paid, and can't have any revocations within the most recent 24 months. So I think technically, since that second probation hasn't started, they might be able to get away with, since the state isn't, now it may be considered an illegal sentence, which happens all the time.
Why do you think it's illegal? Just out of curiosity.
I think them going back and agreeing to let him withdraw it once the sentence has already been entered. Do I think technically it should happen?
That would be another way to attack it. Yeah.
But it's one of those that, like, I've had illegal sentences entered. I'm not gonna say anything because it helps my client. I'm not saying a single thing because my client benefits from that illegal sentence. If they're not smart enough to figure it out, that's not my problem. And so I think here it's going to be, technically it shouldn't be able to be done, but since it benefits his client, the state, if it all goes how he wants it to, they would come back. Derek Wright.
Okay.
If it goes how Derek Wright wants it to, the state will come back and say, fine, we're all in agreement. It's in the plea transcript. Most judges up there wouldn't say anything since it's in the plea transcript. Let them withdraw it and null process it. Should that technically be allowed to happen? No. Do I think that would? Yes.
And people do stuff like that all the time where all the lawyers kind of agree and the judge will get on board where it's like, well, technically we can't do this, but if nobody's going to appeal it, then let's all just keep our mouths shut. When it benefits, but only when it benefits the defendant, to be clear.
Because I used to see that all the time with the felony fleeing and eluding statute. Because our statute for that is insane, but I won't get into that right now. But
that is such a good point, though, that he's actually not on that probation yet, and the state did not realize that. I promise you, because technically they can't even try and violate him until he's done with the other probation, and if the testimony is not a condition of his first probation, then he hasn't violated it.
Because they can't.
That is interesting.
They can't violate the second one. Now they can come back and violate it later, but they can't technically. I would argue that they can technically only violate the first one.
I've just never seen anybody be put on consecutive probation, so I'm like,
I see it all the time, and it's
really.
Sucks, but
I've never seen that.
Okay, TikTok. This is Attorney Yates. She's on YouTube, guys. And for people on YouTube, I'm not sure if you guys caught that, what she was saying is that Moontuk, and y'all make sure I'm saying this right, Moontuk has 2 probations. He has 2 probations. And right now he is on the first probation. The second probation does not start until the first one is completed. Is it 3 years, you guys said?
No,
Whenever he
15
comes off,
right
it
now.
could be anywhere from 3 to 15.
Okay, it can be from 3 to wait. I must have missed the 15. It can be from 3 to 15 years for the first probation.
Because of the early release. If he
Okay.
gets early release, then he starts that second probation after the early release, but he can't get it for 3 years.
Okay, so 3 to 15 years for the first probation. The second probation, the testifying and everything is attached to the second probation, guys.
So I think technically they put these special conditions on both of them. So
Okay.
he has these same special conditions. And here in Georgia, a special condition, what our county calls a true special condition, but a special condition is basically if you violate this, you can be revoked in full. So normally on normal probation, a technical violation, either a misdemeanor or a technical violation. So technicals would be anything that's not a new felony.
Like a drug, you fail a drug test.
A dirty urine, not reporting, all, stuff like that. Those are technicals. You can only get revoked 2 years for those. You cannot be revoked more than 2 years for a technical violation.
Okay.
That's complicated.
For a new felony charge, you can only be revoked either the max of your probation or the max of the new charge, whichever one is less. So if you have 10 years left on probation,
Okay.
but if you catch a new felony that has a maximum of 5, they can only revoke you 5 of those years because the new charge only carries 5
years.
and
Wow.
whichever one is less.
But do we know if that testifying is on the first probation?
I think it's on. I think it's on both. If I
couldn't
looked at it,
try
correct.
and figure that out.
I need to find it again. Someone had sent me the actual
The
I
condition.
guess actual order, the sentencing order.
Heck, y'all.
But it's
That was what I tried to download, and Fulton County stole my money and didn't give me the rest of the document.
so the second probation. So, and the 3 years is from the date of when his probation started, minus any credit that he received. So if he received credit for time that he was in jail, then that counts towards it.
Yeah.
The second probation, it's just because they're running consecutive. So if something runs concurrent, means they're running at the same time. Consecutive just means the second one doesn't start until the first one ends. They run back to back. So that's how they're getting the 30 or 35 years. It's because the first 15 or the second 15 is consecutive to the first. So it doesn't start until that one ends.
Interesting.
And I'm just going to say this, guys. And do y'all think Moontuk knew all of this?
No, I think Max explained his plea better to him than anyone ever had before. And that's no shade to his attorney.
I
just
do think
that Max broke it down in a way that he was able to digest, and I don't think that whether it have been time constraints or not get whatever it may have been, so it's no shade to his attorney, but I think Max was the first one that explained it to him in a way that he could even remotely understand.
Because I mean, that's a lot to digest. I mean, honestly, that is a lot.
it is. And I mean, I'm sure you've seen this too. I'll have people that like, I'm the attorney that signed them up for their probation. And then when they get revoked, they're like, I didn't know that. And I'm like, well, I know that you knew, or at least somebody told you. I mean, this literally happened to me on Friday. This person was not ever reporting to probation. And they're like, I didn't know I had to. We signed a document that said you were aware of that. I mean, people will pretend to not understand things. I do think Moontuk understood a lot more of this agreement than maybe people are giving him credit for. But to what she's saying, I mean, it's complicated as hell. Like, she just told me all that. And I'm still like, oh, I'd have to go back and read my notes to fully, I couldn't retell you everything she just said.
Someone in the TikTok said there's a difference between knowing and understanding. And didn't Woody tell Miss Hilton that? Woody told Miss Hilton that. Because that's true.
And that's
Yeah.
I am probably overly cautious when it comes to pleas, but I would rather be that way. But I mean, I've had, because I've told everyone this, I read everything. I don't assume someone can read. But I also asked them, I'm like, what did that mean to you? Explain to me what that meant. Explain to me what you think this is getting you into. And if they can't, we'll sit there and we'll go over it multiple ways to make sure that you understand it. Because I'm like, the last thing I want is for someone to enter into a plea that is playing with their life and them not understand what they're actually doing. Like we'll sit there for, I'll let them digest it, and I'm like, let's go over this again. Now, if I have the time, and sometimes I don't, but let's go over this again the morning of your plea. Like we've already gone over it, but let's go over it one more time. But because some of this is incredibly complicated, but he was not wrong that if he didn't agree to it, that he would have had no deal. The state would have said, all right, see ya.
And ultimately, that's why I feel for his attorney, because that attorney could come back and said, well, the state part of your plea agreement is that you have to go kill your mom. He would have been like, okay. I mean, maybe that was a bad example because of what happened. But, it's like, well, okay, you're on probation and what the state wants you to do is, kick a puppy every day for the rest of your life. He would have signed anything.
I believe that. And I feel, they want to know, Breezy's question. I'm sorry, that's why I pinned it. How do you all think his attorney did today on the stand as far as either invalidating or validating some of the things that Muntunk addressed during his redirect?
Were you able to see it?
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings because there were parts I thought were beneficial and parts I was like, you're kind of throwing your client under the bus.
I feel and that's why I say I feel pretty neutral about it, just because it wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. I mean, it was just kind of
it didn't improve the state's situation at all.
I didn't see any point in it at all. To
Except
me,
for validating love. That was the only point.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see where anyone other than those emails got anything out of it. It was just kind of bland for me. I mean, it was.
Well, and what was apparent to me was that he's going to have to deal with Adrian Love about some other client in 6 months.
Second, Bobby, no one's paying for anything on this live. It's a lot of questions. There are over 500 people in here. I'm looking at TikTok and I'm looking at YouTube. So if I see a question, I'm pinning it. So if you choose to not come back to the live again, that's your choice. But I just want to make sure it's not intentional. I'm just looking at two different. I'm on two different sites right now, so I probably just did not see your question.
If you want to send your question again,
yeah, send the question again. I mean, that's the easiest thing. It's like, let me see, it's almost 600 people on TikTok.
I try not to be too close to the screen, or people are like, "What the fuck is she doing?" So I'm just like,
I feel like my hair looks like dog ears. I mean, but to get back to the question, it gave and it took. I mean, I don't think it matters at all. And I mean, I've said this, and I'm sure you understand that as well, Attorney Yates, that like he is in a terrible situation. A terrible situation. And I do think that like he knows that he's gonna have to deal with Adrian Love in 6 months on some other case, and he's trying not to piss her off.
And I hate that situation because and especially for me dealing with the same prosecutors for all of, like, I don't go to a different county. I'm stuck with my prosecutors. You have to think about the client that's in front of you, and you can't think about future clients. You have an obligation to the client that is in front of you, and not clients down the road. But that's a hard thing to keep in the back of your mind of, well, they're going to screw over all of my clients I already have and any new ones. And so while it's easier to say that, it is a hard situation.
It's hard to practice. I mean, I had a county where me and the prosecutor, he was pulling so much crap on me where I had like a decent number of cases, I just stopped taking cases there because I knew that I couldn't adequately represent my clients with that attorney because he hated me so much because he was sick of me not agreeing with literally everything that came out of his mouth. And so I just stopped taking clients there because I was like, anybody who hires me is going to get screwed. And it was because he was so horrible, you know? I mean, and I am not the only person that literally had to leave the county because they were like, I can't represent people there because this guy's so terrible.
We've had to start doing blind plays of some things.
Y'all, so we're on YouTube, but there was a question on it was on TikTok. I hope I'm saying it right. They want to know if you were the jury, I think, how would you which we always ask this. So let's do it for YouTube and TikTok. Ones, if you would vote guilty. Twos, if you were vote not guilty. If you were the jury and the trial ended today, what would be your vote? I hope I said that right. But we do that typically every time we get on the live anyway.
Excuse me.
Okay, well, I see one. You can't vote three. You got to pick a side. You can't vote three. One or two. And it looks like the twos are winning.
And so I was scrolling back and I saw that Bobby person's question. And they said, can't they pull his plea since he hasn't been sentenced? He has been sentenced. So no, they can't pull that plea. The only thing that they can do now is recommend when it comes to the sentencing of the probation violation, they can recommend a harsher sentence, aka for him, they're saying it was a special condition, and so they'd be asking for a full revocation, but they can't actually pull his plea.
Yeah, probation is a sentence.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's some confusion about that.
Yeah, I just put the link in the chat as well, so we'll bring some other people up to join the panel. And I hope you guys saw it. And if you're on TikTok and you want to come up and speak, you got to join YouTube. Trying to answer the questions. I'm keeping this TikTok stream up for probably 30 more minutes. I was just keeping it up so people know that we're live and move over to YouTube, only because YouTube is allowing me the opportunity to save the live for people who may have missed it. So if you're on TikTok, you want to come up, you want to say something, we're going to do a rotation. Y'all know a rotation. We're going to do probably 2 minutes. There's so many people on here. We're going to do the rotation and just click the link and then come on up. I just put it in on YouTube. So yeah, if you're on TikTok, just come on over from TikTok to over here.
And Shauna, we are not going to have court-appointed slander in here. But no, he is not court-appointed. He is hired. He is a paid lawyer.
He is, and he said he knows him on a personal level too. I said, oh, they're friends. And the YouTube is in my bio, guys. Hey, Blue Skies, it's in my bio. Prissy. Okay, guys. Okay. So most people have put, so Attorney Star, Attorney Yates, from you guys from an attorney standpoint, most of us have put twos in the chat that we will vote not guilty. I want to hear from each of you, like, why, like, just sum it up for us. Why would you vote guilty or not guilty? And kind of give us like maybe the biggest reason for your vote.
I mean, you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
I just don't think that there's a single thing that we know. Like, we know. You know, look, some of these guys did some bad stuff. Like, I feel as though that is true, but can I tell you which things they did and when and why? Because remember, a lot of this RICO stuff has to be tied back to a why. I mean, some of them have individual charges. Nothing's been made clear to me on that. But it's like everything that you hear from the state, immediately the defense, I mean, like, normally, guys, it ain't this easy for the defense in a lot of ways. Like, and I'm not saying this is going easy, but like, normally, you know, a lot of my cases or my clients are on video doing the thing that they said that they didn't do. You know, it's not like, oh, there's a completely alternative explanation for almost everything. And here the state or the defense has done a very good job of offering alternative explanations for things. That to the extent I ever see that, where I'm really like, I have a counter theory I can really roll with, is like a self-defense type scenario.
Okay.
Like that is the situation where generally you're offering an alternative theory. Other cases, it's just like, you got to just poke a few holes and see if it'll get you where you need to be. But like, I mean, is there anything that anybody feels like is truly established beyond a reasonable doubt at this point?
Not for me. I feel like the chat on TikTok, the chat here is kind of saying the same thing. It's too much doubt. And that's the problem. It's too much.
There's just too many available other explanations for most of what went on.
Do you know what I love to do and how I love to prove it's too much doubt? The one thing I love to ask, and I'm going to ask YouTube and we're going to ask TikTok. Who do you guys feel unalived Donovan Thomas? Put it in the chat on YouTube. Put it in the chat on TikTok. Who do you feel okay? Let me see.
Yes, Glanville is still the chief judge.
TikTok looks like YouTube. Are you guys on both? Because people are saying Woody. Some people are saying threat, but it can't be a either or. It has to be one person. I'm looking for Shayna's comment. They said Shayna on point.
Well, just to be an attorney about it, it could be both of them and they're parties to the offense. But who do I think fired it? Threat. I mean, I actually do kind of believe Woody on that.
I mean, I think there's multiple parties to the crime.
There's a minimum 2 that we know of, but I don't know who the other. I mean, I think the state is obviously trying to make Young Thug a party to it by renting that car, and I don't think they've done it yet. You could do that, right? Like the classic example of like the law of parties is like all 3 of us decide to go rob a bank.
Here they would get felony unaliving.
Well, and yeah, like different states handle that differently, but like it's all the same kind of theory, right? So, we all go rob a bank and I go in and I'm the one who actually ends the cleric's lives, but you guys help me set it up. Well, you guys are guilty. You could be charged with like the unaliving because we're parties. And so it's like, that's why they're focusing so hard on who rented that car, I think. Do you have a different opinion, Attorney Yates?
No, I agree. And here they would get a felony unaliving. They'd get party to a crime. 100%. I absolutely agree.
But they have not established that. I mean, I think you could probably make a case on threat and Woody, but only with Woody's words. I haven't heard any other evidence besides his words.
And I think even like if I was a juror, if you take out everything that the jury hasn't seen and give them the benefit of the doubt that they haven't watched social media, just the things, and this is all giving them that benefit of the doubt. The fact that the state doesn't even know their own story, you could have a pretty slam dunk case, but if the prosecutors come in, and I've seen this with so many not guilties, it is a slam dunk case, and you're like, there's absolutely no way they can lose this case. And they lose because the state doesn't believe their story, they don't know their story, or they come in and it is just a jumbled mess like this one is. And so the jury can't follow along. And if they can't follow along, even if you think there's no reasonable doubt, that's where it's created.
Well,
reasonable doubt is created in the confusion, in the mess, in the gray areas.
And what the state has failed to account for is that the defendants know things that they don't.
Yep, that's true. I have Attorney Yates. Thank you guys. I don't know if you guys are leaving or not. I'm going to swap up and rotate because I got a lot of requests up here. So I think I'm going to rotate, guys. And if they stay on and you guys have questions, then we'll bring them back up after we do a little rotation. As you come up, because it's like 600 people in here, almost 600 people, if you can just keep it to about 2 minutes. And after about 2 minutes, allow the next person. We may do some group convo, and then we'll swap to the next set of people to come up and talk.
Yeah, I'll stay on for a little bit. So if you call me and Attorney Star back up.
Okay, cool. No problem. I think I'll leave y'all in like the back office thing. I guess, and then I'll just add everyone else to the stage. Thank you.
I don't know how to go down.
I don't know how to tell you to go down. I'm just going.
You didn't tell me I was up here biting my nails.
I'm not gonna tell you. That's not what I thought you were doing. I'm gonna tell you. I said I know she's not rolling up on the live. That's what I.
Come on now, Mel. I really don't want to be what is it? A non-indicted co-conspirator. I don't really want to be one of those.
I don't want you to be one either. I promise I do not.
I like my life on the outside.
Oh,
I don't want to take up a lot of time, but first of all, I just want to say thank you for your work and your diligence, because I didn't know a thing. Listen, y'all, I'm not old, but I feel old. I didn't know a thing about a YSL, a Young Thug. I've asked my son, I said, who is YSL? He said, Mama, please don't start. I said, well, I said, don't worry. I said, Mel's go teach me all I need to know. So here I am. I mean, so I come in and we are already 100 and some odd days into it. But I've been following faithfully for the last few weeks, thanks to you and a couple of more that I look for you every day. But I just want I had a couple of questions. My first question is like, what does the jury consist of? Like, does anyone know like how many men, like their age ranges? Like, what does the jury look like?
I do not know the makeup, and infamous Sylvia, she did the makeup. I do know there are some, maybe I think like 2 people in their 20s. She said there's maybe 1 or 2 Caucasians on the trial. I mean, on the jury, but it's predominantly an African American jury. I do know she said one lady is a little older and she has to go to the doctor a lot, but I don't think it's like a consistent age group. Only thing I think is consistent is the race. Oh, they said, I said 6 men and 6 women. Okay, there are 2 Caucasians in the trial. Okay.
Because I don't know, for some reason, I think that first of all, any jury in their right mind especially at this point in the game, I mean, we're 125 days in. I'm sorry, but I can't even tell y'all, I can't even remember what happened 12 days ago. You have given me so much information. Like, there is no, and then you want me to go and deliberate, and now I got to pull all this stuff back out from, it's going to be like close to 200 days, but if we went today, you got 125 days worth of stuff like that you haven't really shown me anything. You just been up here wasting my time. Like, I'm gonna be like, yo, let these boys go home so I can go home because I got to get on with my life. But I think that if they stand a pretty good chance with a jury of women, if that makes sense, because when I'm listening to Miss Love talk to Mook Tunk like he was her child today, like she was trying to son him today. I was like, you don't. Okay.
She was on one today.
30. Yeah, I was like, you don't do that. You don't do that. That's a grown man. And then I was like, dang. Like, then I got to thinking he didn't even get past the 9th grade. Like, I felt sorry for him. My heart broke for him because, like, I know you trying to embarrass him. You trying to son this man on, you go on TV. You know you in front of all these people. You trying to make him look like a punk in front of his boys. Yeah, I didn't like that as a mother. I didn't like that.
I thought she was out of pocket, but I think Miss Love was just really over. I don't want to say overwhelmed. I think she was upset. I think he made her spaz out up there, and we saw it live and in action. We saw it live and in action.
She made him spaz out, and he said he about to go left.
It was live and in action. Yeah, I don't know anything about Miss Love's personal life other than like schooling. I don't really care to know about anything more than that because I think I just kind of look at her as a prosecutor. Same way Brian Steele, I don't know anything about their personal lives. That's an answer from TikTok. But yes, thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you for having me, Mel. Thank you. I'm gonna drop back down. I enjoy you. I see you over here on the YT now.
Yeah, I'm trying to build this platform too. So
listen, you are doing it. Keep up the amazing work. I'll be like, I gotta go see what cousin Mel talking about because I know she on here cracking up.
Thank you.
Okay, with me, Mel, my thing of it is that
who's talking? I can't even see.
Sheila.
Miss Sheila, I can't even see your name. Okay,
I don't know why.
hey, Miss Sheila.
I don't know why. But look, here's my thing. Even Tick got on the stand and said, Thug just leave his keys laying around. He don't even know we got his cars half the time. And yeah, he do rent cars for people. It's nothing new. It's just that the state is overlooking it.
I think that's
But Miss Sylvia did say the only time that the jurors really pay attention and take notes is when the defense is up, because they precise, they say what they got to say, and they done. They ain't got time to beat around the bush.
But why can't we get that from her? Why do you think we can't get that from Miss Love?
Because Miss Love want to drag it out because some of her witnesses probably ain't available. Some of them don't want to testify. And why would you drop a live witness off the witness stand to bring in a detective with some photos?
Well, wait, Miss Sheila. Did listen, both chats? Did you guys hear that she can't find Quindary Zachary? They're in.
Quindarius Zachary's doctor is not even about to allow him to travel, let alone sit in a courtroom full of sick people that's coughing, and he's already sick. His doctor has already shut that down. That's why he's not coming, and that's why Max Sharp was adamant about do not put my client's name in anything, and Zachary is not going to testify. He's not coming. That's why she's trying to bring up a detective next. What the detective finna talk about? And don't bring me no forensics expert, because you ain't got no forensics. You ain't got no guns. You ain't got no bullets. You ain't got no fingerprints. You ain't even got the car. And that was not a car that did that drive-by on Nut. That was a Malibu that did that drive-by. And Shell Kell was shooting back. Shell Kell shot his brother in the back. That was his kill shot. And he shot that other man in the back. I'm not going to believe anything else.
The S word, Miss Sheila.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Miss Sheila done went straight Memphis on. Yes.
Shell Kell was shooting back, and he accidentally hit his brother, and he also hit that other guy in the back. And that's what the coroner said, that Nuts unaliving was due to the one that was at his back.
Miss Sheila,
it was nothing that was up front.
That's an interesting theory. I don't think I have heard that before.
Notice Shell Kell came out the barbershop with his long thing on him, shooting back.
I will confess, guys, I did not watch the whole thing because I figured over here I might watch it with you all on YouTube, but I did save the video of the barbershop. I did save
that was Shell Kell in that red jacket with the lettering on it. That was Shell Kell. He was at the barbershop that night, and he came out shooting. Well, he came out with his long gun, pew-pewing, and he pew-pewed his brother and the other guy. But that definitely was a Malibu that was driving by. That was not an Infinity. I don't care who they bring up to say it. I'ma say it, and it should not take them 15 years. The city of Memphis had already found Dolph people in a week and a half, and they got their court date set for September. And it's 15 years, and these people still waiting on justice. It makes no sense.
Baby, do me a favor and put Memphis in the chat for Miss Sheila, because y'all know Miss Sheila from Memphis like me, okay?
It don't make no sense that it's 15 years later and they still the streets talked in Memphis. That's how they found Dolph people. If the streets are talking in Atlanta, they know who did Nut. They just don't want to arrest. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's the cops that did Nut.
Miss Sheila, you just brought me to a point. I don't even know if I deleted this comment because I was like, Melanie, your page is growing. Maybe you don't want to comment this, but I saw a guy. I don't know his name, but he was talking about Dolph's unaliving, and I was like, who gave him all of these facts? Because if
Kingdom Crush, I really do. I got 5, and I keep it on me.
Okay, Miss Sheila, we're gonna swap people right there.
But y'all have a good one. I just had to say, and also keep in mind, everybody since DK has been saying the same thing. I don't recall. You need to break that question down in a way that I can understand. It started with DK and it kept on going, and the state ain't caught on yet. So tell me they ain't slow.
Come on, Miss Sheila.
They slow.
I need to go home. Miss Sheila said, "Tell me that if that ain't Memphis, I don't know what is." But yes,
Kay, no, I'm not. But today has really. I thought Friday was bad for the state. Today really looked bad. Because she got off topic from the trial to talk about herself. Her and Hilton get in their feelings, and they feel like they have to validate whatever has been proven against them. You ain't got to prove everything, baby. Sometimes you got to take that L, sit it down, regroup. But they paralegals type their stuff up. They get it in the morning. That's why they come to work. Oh well, wait a minute. Let me see if we got this. And I don't see what Atkins' role is. He just there. He's the token white guy because he does nothing.
He tries. Miss Sheila, thank you so much.
All right. Bye bye.
See you later. Okay.
All right. Have a good one.
Thank you. Y'all, I can't see everybody that's up here now. I'm trying to add people to the stage. But
Hi, my name is Mrs. R. How are you?
Hi, Miss R. How are you?
Good. I found your channel about 2 weeks ago, and I'm so happy. You're doing such an amazing job.
I'm happy you're here, girl. I think everybody tell her welcome. I'm happy you're here.
Yeah. So I live in the Atlanta area,
Mm-hmm.
and where I am struggling as a taxpayer, as a voter, as someone that's living here, is the level of unprofessionalism that's in that office. And yeah, we can talk about, I really want to say people in Atlanta, we got to vote because we put these people in office based off of them coming on TV and doing a commercial or putting a sign in our yard. We need to do research because this is embarrassing. It's ridiculous. And it's not personal because I don't know none of these prosecutors personally, but to see those young men sitting there and fighting for their lives and you don't have any evidence and you, the prosecutor, has gotten caught up in lies. You've had to take a course on Brady. Then you bring Brady back in again. You're intimidating the witness. You're rude to the witness. It's embarrassing. So if anybody that's in the Atlanta area, we got to vote, y'all. We really do. This is because at the end of the day, we know Fannie Willis ain't going to do nothing. Excuse me. I'm sorry. She's not going to do anything, right? So we need to have somebody in the office. I have no idea who it is. I need to do my research myself, but I'm embarrassed.
I'm not sure if, like, how is Fannie not seeing all of this discourse going on about this trial? How is she, or if she is seeing it, how are you still allowing it to go on? I just don't get it. I don't get it. So I think you've brought up an excellent point, and I think people, and not just funny, just as an overall point of reference, we all should be voting and know who we're voting for. And one of the things that I was just learning is the most accessible person that you can reach is people in your local offices. You can reach these people and you can really force some sort of change faster than you can with the president. So you really have to pay attention to that.
So you know what, and that's a good point. And I don't know where your chat is going, but that would be a good topic of conversation, is have someone come on to teach us and tell us what we need. Because a lot of it is, I'm older. We don't know what to do. We don't know how. We know something's done, but ignorance is, it is what it is. If you're not in state politics or if you're not writing letters, I think as a community a whole, we need to have some classes on and have somebody come on and tell us what we need to write in those letters, who we need to write them to, so that we can get something done. Because when I say embarrassed, I'm embarrassed as a human race that people would even treat someone like this.
It's really sad. I think as a whole in this community, we definitely we can do something like that. I mean, my platform now, most people are here from the YSL trial, but I do feel like there's so much more that I want to talk about. And I think that's one of the things that would be really great for us to discuss. Not really getting into like specifics in politics, guys, because I don't want to do that.
Right. No politics, just on if you see something's wrong, or how do you look up candidates? What are you looking for when you're voting for people? Because right now, everybody can say, oh, I'm voting Democrat or I'm voting Republican. We really need to stand up and say, I'm voting for the right person and get out of this thing, because we're in a state of emergency, not just here in Atlanta, but everywhere.
That is so true. Thank you so much for that. And y'all don't have any more invitations. I'm adding people up as they come. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you.
No, thank you for having me. I really, really appreciate you.
Of course. I'm going to go on.
Can you drop me down, please?
I don't know how to do that. I don't even know how to do it right now. that you're talking, but it's not allowing me to see who's muted and unmuted for some reason. I could see it at first, but I can't see it now. Okay, I think she did it. Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm great, thank you. What's going on?
I've just had this theory. Miss Sheila has said something that stuck out to me when she said basically, if I quote her right, that um they really don't even know who murdered Donovan Thomas. And my theory is, I feel like Paul Howard, if that's his name, knew that beforehand. That's why he never prosecuted the case. He knew Thug wasn't the one that had anything to do with it. And I feel like they knew also who did do it. And the person that did do it, they knew if they went after him, it was going to be hell on wheels trying to prosecute him. And if you go back and listen to some of what Rich Homie Quan is saying in these interviews about the business dealings he had with TIG and Birdman, I feel like you'll find your answer in what he's saying. I feel like this was deeper than Thug. People are pointing at Thug because of a war, some stuff that was going on already in Atlanta, but I feel like it's deeper than just some stuff that's going on in Atlanta.
And you know what I'm going to point out, because you said that, because now we go back to, this is why they have to let these people go. No one has there's no clear consensus on why we are here. Yeah. No one knows, but I do agree with you. I think there's more that went on or is going on that we don't even know about. And the state doesn't know. The state is literally grasping at straws, and they don't know.
No, they don't, and I don't think they really care to find out at this point. And
I agree.
the whole reason why Fonny probably not going to drop the case is over pride. At this point, it's pride.
Yes.
You didn't spend a lot of money.
And first of all, let me tell you, TikTok says we have never had a man up. So yeah, we gotta give a big welcome to our first. I think not since we've been doing this, we have not had a man up. So thank you for coming up. But I think Miss Love, to your point, Miss Love definitely gave ego and pride today during her test. I mean, it was nasty. It was nasty. It was very nasty.
Yeah, she's getting pretty vindictive with her questioning and responses towards her own witnesses. And if you really look deep into this, not one witness she's called outside of a local official, and I mean like a cop or somebody working with the state, has been cooperative. I wonder why that is.
Come on now.
That's really all I wanted to touch on. I just think people need to start looking at the bigger picture here. Quan, I feel like, has been saying all along who is behind Nuts' murder because he was close to him. And in my eyes, just from reading between the lines, I don't think he was hitting that Thug at all.
I don't see it either. The dots are not. It's not connecting for me.
But
it's not connecting for me.
I'm a fan. I stumbled across your page, and I'll definitely be tapping in more.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. All right, y'all sending your stuff in. I am adding as soon as you guys. Hey, Eric, I see you. I'm adding you to the stage. If you're already on the stage, you can go ahead and someone can go ahead and speak. I don't know why I can't see who's talking, so you have to tell me who it is.
Hey, Mel. I just got a quick question. My voice gone, so I'm sorry if it's hard to hear me, but I just want to say I love what you do, and I'll be checking in your updates. But today I caught like the end of the live, the end of the trial.
Okay.
And with the emails, I heard that they made a comment about that Miss Love was basically put to the jury that the drive-by shooting was because of something else. But in the emails, they said that it was over a female. So do you think they're able to let the juries know that, or?
Oh, they know it. It came out.
Oh, they did?
Yes, it came out during his cross-examination.
Okay, that's all I want to ask. I was kind of confused in that part. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, okay. Okay, guys. Oh, I didn't even see everyone else down here. Okay, Toy, I'm gonna add you up now. Hey, whoever, I can't see the name, so I promise. I'm not being rude. I just can't see it. You guys have to speak and just tell me your names.
Hey, girl.
Hi, who is it?
Hi, this is Erica.
Hi, Erica. How you doing?
Good. I've been in your chat all the time, but I've never been up here before.
You have not. We talk all the time in the comments.
Yes, we do. Listen, I just have a couple things. Oh my God, my neighbor's dog is barking. But I just have a couple things that I was thinking of. Number one that we haven't touched on is Moontun's jacket. His jacket was like one size too small
Oh,
today.
wait, the new jacket he had on today.
Yes, his
I
little jean
noticed,
jacket.
I noticed it.
Oh my gosh, poor thing. Oh my God, bless his heart. And I really think Paige today was like him and Paige were chopping it up. I really think it's because Paige was like, I'm too close to this man. I don't need him crashing out right next to me.
I really think Paige was really doing her best to referee what was going on between him and Miss Love because
Mm-hmm.
he was really bothered by Miss Love.
She was trying to de-escalate because
Yes.
what was going on with Miss Love? Where was Miss Hilton today?
I don't know where if Miss Hilton is pregnant like people say they is, she may have needed a stress day.
Because I think Miss Hilton like calms Miss Love down sometimes because she was on 10 today. She was it was too much.
She was, I think it's like when I say crashed out, that is how I felt. The microphone, the consistent walking, it definitely gave sermon. She was yelling at times. I mean,
Screaming.
It was screaming. Yes, it was too much.
Yeah, and I think really just the state overcharged this. I think there's a lot of things that these people did that you could bring them to trial and convict them on very easily. I don't know why they went with this RICO. I think it's Fani's ego, and Fani's like trying to make a name for herself, but she's doing it. She's doing it for sure, but in the wrong way.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, that's all I got.
Thank you so much. And next, look, don't be a stranger. Come back up.
Okay, I'm starstruck.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye, girl.
All right, bye-bye. Talk to you later. Hi, I know Toy's up here. It's somebody that was up here before you, Toy.
I wait.
Yeah, but I don't know the person's name. I know Toy's name. Oh, this attorney Yates. Okay, Toy, you good. I can see when it's three people, y'all. I can't see. And if you TikTok, I can only pull you up if you come up on YouTube. I'm not bringing people up from TikTok. So come over on YouTube and I'll just pull you up. Just hit the link in the chat. I'll put it in there again if you guys tell me that you're gonna come over. Okay. Hey Toy, yes, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So
I just wanted to say one thing, right? Because I know you started watching it over, and I was gonna say, she said in her opening statement, she said something to the effect of like, I don't know how these witnesses are going to testify and yada yada yada. So in my mind, I feel like she knew from the beginning that this was not going to go in her favor. I feel like a lot of her wanting to call witnesses that weren't going to testify in her favor is so that she can introduce evidence.
I agree.
Because it's not really about what they say, it's what you can prove. And you can get up there and say anything. But I do think a lot of it is them playing on people's intelligence. And I see people saying in the chats, both chats, like, oh, he can't comprehend. I don't think that it's not that he can't comprehend. I feel like he's probably one of the more well-spoken witnesses. I think that it's just words and jargon. Huh?
Toy. Did you say one of the most well-spoken?
Yeah, out of some of the witnesses that was up there, yeah.
Oh, I would say cooperative. You didn't hear that man say, what did he say, Pacific?
They all say that. I think that's just bad accent.
No.
You know what I mean? When I say well-spoken, I don't mean necessarily.
I get what you're saying, though.
I don't mean like articulate particularly. I just mean he isn't easily swayed in conversation by what she's trying to ask. I feel like he pays attention to her questions and also the responses that he's giving her. Maybe I should say that. I don't mean well spoken like articulate. You was like, wait a minute.
Don't mind me.
You was like, but I just feel like he understands what's happening. But I feel like a lot of people are like saying like, oh, you don't understand. If you've ever seen if you've ever been to court, most people can't read that or don't know what it says. You know what they tell you that it says. And I'll attribute it to this. And I think somebody said it in one of your lives, or maybe somebody else's live that I was watching. But we all click on apps and it asks you to accept the terms. Nobody reads that. You scroll to the bottom and you hit accept. You don't know what's in there.
Come on, speak on it.
you don't know what's in there. You just clicking and signing. People do it all the time. You sign leases, you sign a bunch of stuff, and we don't particularly read the fine print. We just, okay, well, I want this thing and I want to get it done, and I'm gonna, put my signature on it, and you keep it pushing. Also, I think it's something that people don't take into account. A lot of them, not him particularly, because him and I think Adrian Bean is a lot older than them. But they were getting high. They were using all the stuff. I don't know if I can say all the stuff on YouTube, but they was using all this stuff. A lot of those things cause memory lapse, cause you to forget chunks of time. You asking people to remember things. And I think some of the things that we find funny, they actually are being honest. Like when Woody said he don't keep up with the days and time, he don't. He just out here living.
You know what? So I said this when I first kind of started covering this trial. So I said the scariest part of this trial is it sounds like no one had clear goals when they woke up. It had to be when they were doing his calls that week, that admin week. It literally sounded like they got up and whatever came with the day came with the day. There were no clear plans, and I said that's scary.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not going to say I'm about the life, but I'm going to say I have dated guys in my younger years that were. And I do think that's the case. I think a lot of their day is trying to survive. I don't think people realize that guys who are, I'm going to say DDs, they have the most stressful job because all they trying to do is stay alive. And is a lot that go into that people don't really consider. And while we talking about that, somebody said this in the comments, and I just want to say it because I don't know if people saw it. They keep talking about that man being unalived, and I'm not saying that that Nut deserves to die. What I am going to say is called an occupational hazard. It's part of the career path that you chose. It only end up two ways, and we see one of the ways that it ends up, and his way was the other way. And I'm not saying that means that he deserved it. I'm just saying. And another thing about him, something that people don't pay attention to, and it's so funny because when they first started talking about the day that Rich Homie Quan died, I happened to be watching an interview on YouTube he did with what's that guy's name, the white guy, and I don't like him, but I just watched it because it was like him and
Vlad? It's not Vlad, or is it
no. Adam.
I don't
Yeah,
like
he did an interview. I can't stand him. And he was like saying the interview isn't old. I think it was from like a year ago. He said that they did not have beef. You know what he said very particularly? He said they had their own personal issues that had nothing to do with it was more business. He wanted to stay with Think It's a Game, and Thug wanted to go with Birdman and them. He felt like that was the better business move because Think It's a Game was very independent. And that meant limited funds and limited access. And he wanted to go. Everybody asks that every time. Every time I get on the thing, people always ask. I am from Baltimore. It's always
Baltimore. Okay, I wanted to make sure I corrected.
The first time that I ever got on TikTok, they were like, "She's too and doing and you every time." I try sometimes not to, but I guess you can't help it. But he said in the interview that he said the issue was not as big. He said what made it bad was the people on the outside, like their friends made it bad. And that's what we're seeing play out every day. But I just want to tell people, I know you started watching a little bit later. And not to like boast another creator, but I said this. I think in the thing, like if you go on, I'm not a lawyer.
That's
She
how I
has a series, and she starts from back when they were doing jury selection. Love is not doing anything that she has not ever done. Not like people are. Maybe it depends where you fall in at when you started watching, but she's been disrespectful. She's been rude, and I just feel like when it comes to this new judge, she just has been sitting back. People think like, oh, she don't be saying nothing. No, she's just been trying to figure out how she can be herself in that room. She's been like that.
But that's how I started watching this case too.
I feel like I was watching it from the beginning, but what really made me start tuning in is her yelling at Judge Glanville.
I pulled up day one yesterday to restart it because it's like this trial. I just feel like I'm missing some pieces and I need to start from
the sad part is you're not. I feel like people think that to make it make sense, but you're not missing nothing. It's been a bunch of nothing. It's
Oh,
been a bunch of nothing. It's been a bunch of her. She's been not giving information this entire time. She's been waiting until she was forced to give information. She's been doing what she did today, where she said, "Oh, well, it was only it was me emailing and him calling, and then being caught blatantly in lies, and nobody really addressing it, just kind of skipping over it. Like, well, that's not the bigger problem." It's been a lot of that. I feel like the new judge is maybe a little bit better about it. You know what I'm saying? In some instances, but I feel like when it really matters, she doesn't do enough or say enough. A part of me also feels like I think that Paige is doing something that Glanville didn't do, and I think because she comes in the middle, she knows that this is being heavily watched. I feel like she, I don't feel like her granting a mistrial at this point would be beneficial to either side because even though they got that speedy trial thing, I don't know how that works because I'm not a lawyer. I wonder would they still be able to retry the case and maybe not against him but other people. You know what I'm saying?
so
It's
what?
just so many moving
What the
parts.
lawyers told us is that Shannon and Thug are the only ones with those speedy trial motions, and that
Right.
if this were to mistry for whatever reason, there wouldn't be enough time to retry those two again.
Right.
The
Okay.
Harvey rule does not apply to this. You know, it applies to things that are happening during like in the courtroom. So it doesn't apply to them. But thank you because I'm gonna
Okay.
rotate the stage. Thank you. Listen, look, gave us a lot to think about in that little time.
All right. Thank you. Talk to y'all later.
Accent toy.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I like yours too. I like yours too. I'll be like, yes.
Lord, I just would look, you know, I wonder if I sound like my sister. I'm gonna have to
No,
listen.
I be at work crying when you be cracking up. They be wanting to know what I'm laughing at. I be like, I can't even hear you all the way. You just be laughing so hard. I be like, let me get my earphones so I can hear.
And toy, sometimes it doesn't even need to be that funny. But when I tell you it cracks me up, some of the stuff that's said during this trial, it really does.
It's just unbelievable. It's just really unbelievable.
It's
Like
unbelievable.
I be telling
Shit.
people all the time, like when I be talking about it at work, they just be like, no, I think this. And I'm like, if you just watch it for like 20 minutes, you will see
Mhm.
like it is crazy. Like you can't stop watching it. But I'm gonna get out of here so somebody else could go.
Thank you, Toy.
You're welcome.
Okay, nice talking to
You
you.
too.
Hey Mel, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Hi,
Um,
Shay.
hey, thank you so much for having me on. So a couple of things for me.
Hmm.
There's kind of a theme. Like what they're looking at, all of these guys are from lower socioeconomic backgrounds, lower educational backgrounds, and are taking advantage of that. They all have kind of been in trouble with the law, so they're using that against them.
Agreed.
They're using it against him, and like poor Woody, even though he's done stuff and he's finessed, he's tired. You could tell he's remorseful. He did not want to come back and do this, so they've coerced, used whatever you want to call it, for him to come back. And she's right. But I don't know if it was Toy or whoever was before her about the barbershop scene. Kel Shell was in that barbershop. He locked that door so nobody could come in, and they were talking about that. There was an eyewitness. Why can't the eyewitness say, we saw who shot him? There was not an Infinity that shot. They said it was a Bonneville.
I've
And the
heard.
car went back to the rental place, no damage, no bullet holes. So it wasn't there.
Listen, I think there's so much, and I'm going to actually, guys, probably not today because I'm going to get off live at probably about 8. We've been on what, hour and a half. I probably get off
Mhm.
an hour or so, but I want to do a live recap of that video. I found it and saved it for people
Yeah,
who.
they have the video of the car driving by. It's very grainy. You can see them out the top shooting, and you can see them out of the side. They know who did it, which is why they won't let Woody say he did it. They know it's not him. Why else would they tell him he can't confess to it?
I
They
think, and then too. Wait. Do you? Speaking of Woody, remember that Max Sharp did a good job of kind of pointing out that Woody was at least near the scene.
they were all near the scene, but he didn't do it. They were near the scene, but he didn't do it. They know he didn't do it. They know exactly who did it. But they don't, I mean, and somebody was like, that's an occupational hazard, but they all had beef. And I'm like, it's deeper than just Rich Homie Quan and Thug, it's a lot deeper than that. They said it came from up top, like higher than them. That's something else. It came from somewhere else. It wasn't like a local thing. I'm here in Atlanta and I'm a therapist, and I'm like, I'm looking at this every day, and I'm like, I wonder what their mental health is like. I'm looking at little Rod, and I'm like, I see a child. I'm like, what kind of therapy is he getting? Like, I know he needs medication and therapy. Just some of the background I looked at on him. He's got no mental health, anything, no medication, nothing.
I always feel sad for little Rod. He just looks.
I
He does.
tear up every time they show that child. I mean, I know he's 19, but he's a child. He was arrested for murder at 15. And what they said is they didn't Mirandize him. So they got to overturn that. I heard it was overturned. I don't know if that's true.
I can't speak, but I've heard that as well.
And they said the only reason they have him there is so that he looks guilty. There's really nothing. That's the only reason they have him sitting in there.
Oh, someone, I just pinned a comment, and, I heard you say that you were a therapist, and we were just
am.
You're looking for new clients. Muslim said he gonna have to talk to someone after being on that stage.
Sure.
I actually work in an underserved community. That was my first choice. I had choices of working other places, but when I see the things out here, I counsel people like this, and they have so much trauma that they just feel like they're invisible to the world, like they're nobodies. And when you get them to a point where they feel like they can accomplish something, they're totally different people. I mean, you can look at Woody. What you see on that stand is not who he is in real life. That's an act.
I agree. Someone on TikTok said, "Is Atlanta safer with these men behind bars?" What I'm going to say to that,
no.
What I'm going to say to that is they've been incarcerated for 2 years. So go check the crime stats, then come back to the chat, then you let us know.
Well, the assault rate has gone down, but the murder rate has gone up, which means that's intentional. Murder is intentional, which means it's gang related. And I just heard from George Cheedy. He said that there is another RICO in the pipeline for another gang. They're not saying who it is, but it's already in the pipeline.
That is sad. Did y'all hear that? There's another Funny. I'm not sure what Funny's doing there.
There is already another RICO in the pipeline.
Try anything with the words RI in it. RICOs she should not be doing anything.
I just think we need to pray, right or wrong. Woody said something. He said I had to take accountability, but we've all done something wrong. And he said, my only advice to them is for them to get on their knees and pray to God. That's all they can do.
Thank you so much. I thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mel. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Well, now we know who to refer Moonton to. So we got
with his high blood pressure and diabetes. I got to talk to him real nice.
Thank you, Shay.
You're welcome.
All right, no problem.
Bye-bye.
I just want to start by saying that, for one, I don't see any real evidence pointing to Thug, simply because, yes, they mentioned that Thug leaves his car keys hanging around and that anybody can drive the cars. That's fact number one. Fact number two is that their rental car was returned with no bullet holes, no damage, or anything. Fact number three is that, as y'all just stated, there was a witness on scene that seen Shell Kill lock their door. So why can't that witness testify and say that they saw who shot? And that's another reason why they're not letting Woody say that, yes, I was the one that killed him. I'm sorry, Mel. I was the one that pewed him, because they know that he was not the one that did it, and they know exactly who did it. But they're trying to go after Thug because he is the bigger face. And as somebody commented earlier, was saying that they need to look into people that are higher up, because I honestly don't think that it would have escalated to that point with just the gangs beefing like that. I think that they do need to investigate the heads of these record labels.
Well, the heads of the record labels, I think what bothers me about heads of record labels is they push this music. And you've had artists actually come out and say that if my music, I have tried to go turn in music. They've told me, why don't you start saying something like this? Change the music. So I was just looking at some on TikTok, and we can look. I think it was Lior. it's either the head of Interscope or Universal, one of those. He literally they questioned him about that. I mean, the fact that some of these artists they don't get them any type of mental help or try to get them off of these prescription drugs or anything. So I agree with you. I think they need to be investigated too. Now, keep in mind though, the two labels that we're talking about were both at the time pretty much, well, they were. I guess you Birdman's not it. Well, I guess no, he wasn't independent. But Think Is a Game was an independent label. So you're looking at like a kind, a mom and pop shop. Everything basically being run by one person.
You're
And I
right.
wonder,
But then again, I have to bring up the fact that a lot of these record labels get insurance deals on their artists.
they sure do.
So if money's running low, it's no telling what they may do to bring that money back in.
That is true. That is true. Look, you make a great point. You make a great point.
But that's
That
all I
is
had to say, Mel girl. I'm in nursing school, and I come watch you every day when I get out of class. I might be late
Thank
sometimes, but I
you.
come through.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Angel, it's just us. I could have sworn it was someone else on here with us. Hey, Angel.
Oh my God, your secretary. I have not been doing my job all day.
You've been missing in action. You've been missing in action.
It worked me to death.
You've been missing in action. I mean, some stuff was going down. I said, where my girl at?
I know. I saw like your clips. Like, I really wish Sledge would have went off a little bit more because it seemed like Paige was gonna let him. But I did send you something. So it's off camera, so I don't know if it was reported, but off camera, Doug tweet everything. He asked for them. This sounds outrageous to me. He asked the judge for the defendants to be to come to the courtroom later. So I'm like, okay, why that? He said them boys get there at 5:45. Court don't start till 9.
9. So what are they doing in between that time?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know that much about the court system. I'm assuming they have like a quote unquote holding area that they sit in, but not even that. If you're getting there at 5:45, Doug is in a whole different county. So my thing is, what time are they waking up?
Oh my!
They have to be waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
That is insane. And to think about all the time it's going to take for them to leave when court is ending at 6.
So
I think someone said in holding. I think Moontoon called it what did he call it, y'all? The tank. I think he called it the tank.
But to just be sitting there and not doing, hold on, let me go read the tweet. Because somebody answered him. He said his request is, he said that the defendants need more rest, yada, yada, yada. So Paige's response was, well, the jail's understaffed.
I think you remember Brian Steele's argument for a new bond for Thug, and one of the things that he argued is that they needed to release people because jails are overcrowded, and how this some of the burden off.
So, like, someone said you're getting up early anyways if you're in jail. I get that. I worked in a part of law enforcement. I get that. But if court doesn't start till 9 and you have those boys sitting up there for 3 hours, I can understand waiting an hour, even 2 hours. But getting there at 5:45, waking those boys up at 4. So I know when they get out of court, they're just going straight. Like, once they get out of court and they get to their cell, they're just going straight to sleep. Like, I don't know. I think that's outrageous. And then I saw a couple other stuff that happened in court.
It's been a lot today.
I did see people kept saying in the comments, like, why wasn't Sledge's lawyer objecting or stopping it? He can't do that. I think he can only step in if, like,
absolutely necessary.
Yeah, if it's like a clear breach of like his rights, but there's nothing he can do about that. Like,
Yeah, remember we talked about that, guys, that you don't need a lawyer to testify. He has a lawyer because he and Woody need attorneys. They have these immunity agreements, plea deals that you really have to navigate through. So they need attorneys, but you do not need an attorney to just simply testify at trial.
That's what I was like, dang, I'm gonna have to recap. I didn't send you no tea today. I feel
It's
so.
okay.
I'm like, I'm gonna get fired. Don't
It's okay.
replace
I got
me
it.
with nobody.
And I'm telling you, that's what I tell y'all, that it gets to a point, if I don't see your names, which it was so much going off, I didn't really have time to do a lot of commenting. So thank you, Rain Shower. So you're gonna see a lot of comments come later on. But I said, when I saw your story, I said, Angel has not been on the post today. So I was definitely looking about you.
And you was out of line for saying that my hair looked good, girl.
It was cute, girl. Okay, Barchi, let's calm it down. Let's calm it down. Okay,
Look
people
at
on
Barty,
TikTok. People on TikTok. Oh God, Barchi, driving. People on TikTok, y'all. I gotta Oh God, I gotta mute. I gotta shut it down on TikTok because just surprise
Why?
you. My phone is dying. That's why, and I gotta put on another charger.
And
So
then I saw you got suspended.
I know I got back. They let me back in. I appealed it.
I did see where somebody had a comment that said post the clip, and you said, hold up. Hold up.
Y'all know what's so funny is that like one video had 4 comments that said post the clip, and I said, now wait a minute. I can't comment on YouTube. Yes, y'all. I have to bit of gray. I'm leaving live. It's 7:10 in about 30 minutes to get off of here because I have to be studying by 8 o'clock. So I choose 8 because I kind of do 4 hours a day. So from about 8 to 12, I'm doing nothing but homework. So yes, people on TikTok, I am sorry, y'all. I gotta shut the TikTok down over here, and we've got to you can head over to YouTube. It's a smaller group of us now, so we're still doing panel and still rotating people over here. Mel, you have to drop your skincare routine, child. Just Fenty Beauty. That's it. The TikTok is in my profile, guys. That phone always die. I know. It's because I'm on it all day. I'm on it all day. I do my TikToks from my phone. So I'm on it all day. So head over to YouTube, guys. I'm sorry, Lisa. Oh no, Lisa, I thought they said I'm not. Okay, head on over to YouTube, guys. But thank y'all for joining me over here on this side of TikTok. Thank you guys for all of the lives and everything. But please, if you'd like to, you can come in over here on TikTok, guys. And I'm putting the chats in so that you guys can the link to come up, and then you guys can come up if you want to. Bye, everybody. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry about that, Angel, but I see my phone at 2%, and I was trying to hurry up and get on off. Wait a minute, where did Angel go? Okay,
I think she's
Taylor.
It's just
cool.
me and you, girl. Man, I don't know what love had over the weekend, but if I gotta come down with something, I want that. Cause it cleared right up.
Right up, Taylor. I don't think she was sick for more than what we gonna say. Was it about 5 to 10 minutes?
Yeah, she was sick. Hey, she got rid of it in a blink of an eye, okay?
Yes,
Because
she
it was
did.
all a cover up for the fact that you didn't do your homework. And we sat there and had to hash that out. Oh, hey,
Don't.
But it was all a cover up to the fact, girl, you didn't do your homework. So we spent the first 40, you was late. You was already late. You came in 10 minutes late. Your sister, he don't know what to do. Then we get through the transcript. It was way too much. And what's so funny to me is that her case is built on hearsay, but the minute the defense brings up something about what somebody else says, I object. It's hearsay.
Oh, she's on
Object.
She is on it. She is on it.
Now they to her every which way but loose about that Easter.
Taylor, it really just went just downhill. I'm talking from the beginning of court. It's like, I blame her. She came into court with too much dip on the chip. I blame her.
She really did. And I would say the most disturbing thing to me was, ma'am, when Mutung started his testimony, you gave him condolences about his mother. So why would you get on her and ask him today, how is your mother doing? Like you know how she's doing. You knew the situation. And I felt like you sat there and intentionally did it. And she does, like I say this all the time, she does these things and she does not care about how she's perceived by the jury. The jury does not like that, girl. Y'all sit there and pick these people trying to figure out how you're gonna sway them and play on their emotions as this trial go on, and you simply do not care. You feel like you've reached this moment and this status within your career that you can do whatever it is that you want. And girl, you've been put on full display that you can't. Okay. And Paige, look, Paige, girl, I don't know
Oh,
who
started.
told you. Paige, I don't know who told you that you can't grant a mistrial in this trial, but baby, it was clear as day today that you
Clear
was gonna
as
find
day today. Taylor,
you gonna
what did she say the other day when they said, Judge, what did he say? It looks like this trial is gonna be a mistrial or something. And y'all, what word did she use? Possibly or something like that. Then today follows it up with this foolishness. Girl, like what is going on?
it's a travesty. Like I just don't understand what you're trying to do. And it's like and like I was saying I had one live today. I hate the fact that as a Black woman, it's hard to stand in some of these rooms with some of these people because
Yeah.
our accolades are never acknowledged or they're always looked at as not good enough. And it breaks my heart that we never have anything good to say about her. And she's such a well accomplished lady. And it is so sad. And it's like I want to get on her and say, Miss Love got her a win today, or Miss Hilton got them a win today. But it's like, girl, like I can't consciously do it with a pure heart. You know what I'm saying? It's just disingenuous as you asking him, did he enjoy his lunch?
Oh, listen. When she asked him, did he enjoy his lunch? Now, and I'm going to say this about Moontook. Did you see him apologize once he came back for that last time in court? And I said, you know what? That right there is exactly who I thought he was. He really seems like he's got some good home training. He may be in these streets, but him apologizing to Miss Love, the jury, and the judge spoke volumes to me. But when Miss Love asked him, did he enjoy his lunch? It really gave when Brian still said she hopes she feels better.
Okay. It really did. It's just girl. Girl, we gonna see if she steps into the fall with us tomorrow.
I don't know
She's
what's
still
going
in,
to happen tomorrow.
she's still in the springtime. But I'll jump off of here. Thank you for having me,
Thank
Mel.
you, Taylor. Thank you, Taylor.
Hey, Mel.
Hi. Look, I'm going to hide the comments so I can see who's talking.
This
Hi,
is Tanya from
Tanya. Oh, yes, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So tell us what was
Girl.
what's on your mind after court?
Let me just say this. It's you're not winning if you're cheating. If you gotta cheat to win, you're not winning.
Problem.
And Miss Love, Miss Love, Miss Love. My husband really don't watch this trial, but this morning, girl, he was saying all kind. He was like, "Does she have a husband? She could not have a husband or son or anything of that nature because her demeanor, she just do too much."
Too much. It's
And
too
it doesn't take, if you are secure in your case, you don't have to do all the things that Miss Love does. But I'm gonna tell you something. There is a God that sits high and looks low. I ain't trying to be religious or whatever, but and he sees everything. Now, are those men in that courtroom? Have they done something that could potentially have gotten them locked up in jail? A lot of us have probably done something in the past that we could, if caught, we could have went to jail or whatever for. But everybody's entitled to redemption. The same thing I say as far when you were saying about Moonton today when he apologized. Everybody and go back to Woody. Everybody's entitled to change and entitled to some redemption at some point. This stuff happened not 2 years ago, not 5 years ago. This is 10 years ago, and I've changed from 10 years ago, and I'm
Me
sure
too.
they have as well.
Me too.
So are we going to hold them to the fire? I mean, if you guys have been knowing all this stuff since however long you've been knowing it, why didn't you do something about it then? Like, why are we regurgitating all this stuff and you really don't even know who did what, to be
I agree with
honest?
that. I think it was proof. Monsoon laughing at that video, and when I say he was quite tickled about her playing that video again, and I said, I bet his 43-year-old self is looking back like, dang, what was my self? What was I doing at that big old age in this video? He was so tickled.
Exactly, because it looks a hot mess. And you can have some self-reflection and say, oh my God, I was doing way too much.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking, and when I look at all the guys in the courtroom, they weren't this way. I don't think before they was arrested. I'm not really sure, but all this stuff that they're talking about happened decade ago. Like,
I wonder what Shannon was doing 2 years ago. I mean, I hate to
because
single
Shannon
Shannon
is in
out.
everything, ain't it?
I hate to single Shannon out, but I would like to know what was Shannon doing 2 years ago.
They say Woody was a menace. Sound like Shannon was a menace.
He was right there with Woody.
But
Who
yeah,
Shannon stays on go.
yeah. I just wanted to say it's really not cheating. It's really not winning if you have to cheat.
Mm-hmm.
And the state has to be held accountable at some point. Miss Love has to be, well, even Miss Hilton, like they have to be at some point held accountable. And I'm not sure if it's going to be on the on the side when it comes to the appeal or whatever. But who wants to wait that long? That could be 2, 3, 4 years from now, after the case is over.
I
So
think they're getting. I really do. I'm sorry. I feel in my heart those ladies along with Funny. I believe that they're getting reported to the bar as we
I would
speak.
hope.
Listen, somebody's probably writing a letter right now.
Well, on Twitter, there's the I think it's Black Lawyer, whatever. He has a
Mm-hmm.
channel. He has on his page a draft that he's asking people to sign, that is being sent to Paige Whitaker to let her know, like, we see what's going on as the public. I don't know if that would do any good, but just
Does not.
I mean, he's already got like 5,000 people, I think he said.
You know why I think Paige doesn't care? Because what is a petition going to do that
Nothing.
the fact that millions of people are watching this trial daily? And I'm not saying now I would still sign the petition. It's just Paige just does not seem like she
doesn't care.
I don't think she cares about that.
And I know she knows that the prosecution is being out lawyered because of all the experience and the accolades and the notoriety or whatever from the defense attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
They're being out lawyered for one, and maybe that's why she feels like she needs to help. But she's supposed to be a referee. We don't need no commentary from her.
She gave too much today. In my opinion, Paige gave way too much commentary if she's going to be a referee, because the fact that she started thinking for Brian Steele blew me. I couldn't. That blew me today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at football yesterday. Like, the referees out there can't tell Dak Prescott, which is my team, to throw the ball a different way.
That's true, and it. I mean, I feel like Paige was really going down that path today. So I'm kind of happy she's just stopping court.
Yeah, she and them giggles. I don't know if that's a nervous laugh or what the hell what it is, but it just, and if I hadn't been invested so much in this case, because I've been watching since the very beginning, I would stop because my nerves are jumbled.
Well, let me tell you something. If Paige was giggling, I hope she took a little. I hope she took a little note from Montoon telling Miss Love ain't nothing funny.
There's nothing funny.
He told Miss Love, I still don't know what she was laughing at.
When Paige told her to ask the question a different way, and
What
she was like, "Well, I don't think I'm still gonna get I don't think I'm gonna get an answer from asking him that way, but okay." So when she read the question, or when she said the question, she chuckled because she was like, I guess saying that's not how I would have said it, but whatever. She just Whitaker told her how to ask the question, and she did it. and she thought it was funny the way she was asking.
I didn't like it. I did not like that. Thank you, but thank you, Miss Tanya, because I see some more people in the room.
Okay, babe.
Thank you
for
so
having
much,
me
Miss
up.
Tanya. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
I'll see you later.
I'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. I see it's a T with a heart.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I just wanted to come and drop YSL Mondo name
Oh,
in the whole thing
Lord Jesus.
because I don't understand how you're a co-founder of what's supposed to be a gang that they're charging and you're not on trial.
You're not on trial. So let me. And the reason I say Lord Jesus, I have not brought myself to watch any of his interviews because, quite frankly, I don't think he's credible.
Mhm.
I do not think he's credible, and it's very fishy that he is not on trial. Yet, one of the people, if we could see Thug sitting on trial, and he really can't be implicated in anything, but he's on trial. Why is Mundo excused? So it's too fishy for me. I don't even watch. I have not watched one interview. I've watched a clip. That's it.
And the reason why I brought him up was because a year after him and like Young Thug and all them went to jail, a year after the FBI kicked in his home for having some pums and some candy last year in 2023.
Okay.
And I just said, well, if he got that, ain't no telling what else he done helped did.
See, I can't, girl. I just can't bring myself, and I need to stop doing that because if I don't want to see it, I don't want to hear. I just don't look at it. I need to force myself, especially doing this, to at least watch it to give to be able to give more perspective on it.
Yeah.
It's something that man just does not seem credible. It's too fishy.
And to me, it seems like it's his conscience eating him up because you're doing so much talking about, oh, Woody a rat, all these Gunna a rat, all these people are rats. But what are you if you're not sitting in the courtroom beside them? That makes no sense.
I believe this, Raquel.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He had to because I think he was facing like 31 years.
How was he facing 31 years and he's out doing doing interviews?
And she was his lawyer and she got him off. And he was like, yeah, she's not who people think she is. She's we had like a mother and son type of relationship, an aunt and nephew type of relationship. And it's just like, what?
Well, you know what? Yeah, after that attorney said that him and Moontoon have a business and personal relationship, Atlanta's just different.
And the last thing I want to say is kind of like, I feel like YSL Mondo is who they think Young Thug is. I feel like they got Young Thug because he's a superstar out of the whole group. He's the one with the most money. So let's just go after him because he is like, we're going to mess with his money. And it's kind of like, if we take him down, we won't have to worry about it no more.
I've heard someone allude to the fact that Fonny did not take kindly to Thug at some point posting bond for a lot of people in Fulton County.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't take, she wasn't very fond of that. And people, they whoever, I can't remember who I was listening to, and they said, I cannot say that this is true, but allegedly Thug was offered, hey, if you give this much money to someone's campaign, they did not say whose campaign, all of this would go away. I guess this is when there were probably whispers of the RICO.
Mm-hmm.
He did not do it. Now, guys, I will do my best to kind of tell you where I heard that. I definitely know it was on YouTube. And it could have very easily been inside the law. But no, it wasn't. Sorry. It was Infamous Sylvia. So that is allegedly what has happened. What happened, but she couldn't even confirm it.
I would be honest.
Heard, so
if she told him, well, we're not gonna say she did, but look at what she's doing for Donald Trump, and he don't even like her.
Yeah, it's too much. Fonny I think my girl needs to just pack it on up, go regroup, and come back. Go take a sabbatical. Take a sabbatical, Miss Love, and take Miss Love and Miss Hilton with you.
And Miss Love don't need that microphone no more.
Miss Love don't listen. That microphone gave her power.
She like she was the
Said
first
something
lady at the
happened
church begging for money
she that
to rebuild
microphone
for a new building
today.
with
That
that suit
microphone
on.
gave her power.
But she was sick though. But that's all I wanted to say was
Thank you so
YSL
very much.
Mondo.
Thank you. I'm gonna see after, you know, I told you guys I started trial over, so I'll see if I can bring myself to watch something about him. But I haven't yet. We'll
He
see.
been talking.
We see. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Come back to the same way. Oh, Angel, goodbye. I think I got let me see, we got Erica up here.
Hey,
Keita.
Plum.
Hey y'all. Hey Erica. Thank you so much for holding TikTok down.
Girl, they was stressing me out.
I was a little stressed. It was I've got to figure out, there is a way I can stream YouTube and TikTok, and I think the comments will be combined or something, because I'm sorry, that was a little stressful.
I was trying to drive home and still look at it at the same time. I was like, oh my God, just chill, y'all. Just give me a minute.
Don't be driving and trying to handle that chat.
Listen, you gotta do what you gotta
I
do.
don't need the family calling me talking about I caused the accident now.
No, I'll be on a straightaway. It don't really be a lot of traffic out there.
Oh, okay.
I'll take a
Okay.
back way. No,
Okay.
I ain't crazy now.
Okay.
But you asked the question earlier. She said, particularly when he said, I think you're
Yeah. I
I
knew
said,
it was
look,
a word. Why are people saying continually? I thought it was either possibly or people said particularly.
I think she said particularly.
Okay.
But Love had Sledge's dang on blood pressure up and his sugar low. Cause why did he have to have, like, when they went to it wasn't lunch. They took a break after lunch, I think. And remember, he didn't come back. Him and his lawyer were missing.
Oh, I want Eric. I thought they had got ghost on him for a second.
Listen, I thought that man was on his way home.
I said, Lord, I said, Miss Love made him so mad. He just gonna say forget trial and leave.
And Paige knew it was going that way. That's why she went to lunch early. Because he said, we can go left. And he meant that. But when she was talking to him, not only was she yelling, she was getting closer to him. And then she was pointing her finger to the ground, like, to emphasize what she was saying. Like, she was really talking to him crazy and using body language to try to be intimidating when he's telling you, lady, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of them. I'm not scared of nobody in this room.
Erica, when she did not move past her desk, but she was kind of sitting more towards the back of her table than the front. He said something and she got loud and walked to the front of the table. I said, oh, you losing it. Because it was very confrontational. And it's like she could not hold it. She could not stop it.
She needs some happy pills.
Something. Because today I just, oh God, she did too much today.
And did anybody, and I can't see the chat for some reason, but did anybody see what type of medicine she had on that table? Because I've been sick since last week.
Erica.
I want whatever she had.
So
because Honey was better in like 5 minutes. I need that.
I missed it, Erica B, but everybody said, hold on. Is Summer a real person? What's going on with this? I keep seeing this.
What happened?
Do y'all see that chat? I don't know if this is a real person. Because
who is Summer?
I don't know.
Let me see.
Because we just chatting. I should not be having any type of copyright claims. That was a prop. Oh, they on here. Okay, long as I saw you, I showed y'all who it is. But yes. Eric, I don't know what that was. But it wasn't really some syrup or something. I thought she was lying anyway.
I'm gonna go with the answer that it was lean. That's the one, and I'm not taking it if I gotta do that to feel better. I don't know. I switched over to something so I could see who said that. Who said leave? Wait a minute, where'd it go?
Cover your channel. Oh, okay. It's
Frederica.
I'm gonna have to see, guys. But yes, that's really funny. That is really funny to me. I didn't see the medicine, but obviously she did it because people keep saying that I didn't see it.
In the beginning, you come in late. We were in court, what, 10 minutes and we take a break?
She didn't even apologize for being late. Just walked in. They said she off served and chased it. Not Miss Sheila said it was nut juice. Miss Sheila. Miss Sheila. Oh my, y'all are too much.
Nut juice is crazy.
Thank y'all for telling me. Oh, they said with the ugly suit. See, I wasn't even trying to pin that. Y'all see how it happens? Take a long sabbatical and don't come back. I'm telling you, I think she needs to do that. Yeah, so listen, she rolled in without this cart full of stuff, didn't use any of it.
Her and Hilton, because I want to know what was in it. Because one of the men in the back was trying to like move Hilton's whatever. And she was like, "No, I need that." But baby, you didn't use it. You didn't pull nothing out of it. What is it for? It's just in the way, taking up room.
I don't know what it was for because I know she didn't have all those props for 8 emails. And
like Hilton rolled in a.
I know you watched this. Let's talk about this. How did you feel when you learned that this lady only gave them her emails sent to the attorney?
She was trying to hide something.
I said,
She knows she was trying to hide something.
She looks,
and I don't even think she sent everything. That's why they went and said, have him send it.
She looked so sick sitting at that computer trying to gather those emails after Paige asked her about them. I said, "Oh, Miss Love, yes, ma'am, you're called."
I think it was we did a lot of over the phone. No, the hell you didn't.
Now that's what pissed me off because y'all know Mr. Keith Adams stood up and said, "Judge, whatever I said at the bench, I looked more into it and it wasn't correct." Why didn't Miss Love at any point say, "Oh, I was mistaken, we did"? Miss Love, you knew you had been emailing that man. Oh, it was just, I'd emailed him, then he called me. I said, this lady's just sitting up here lying.
Just now, this is my question. 2 emails. She said she sent 2 emails, but there was a plethora that we had to print out that he sent. What was he responding to, baby?
What is he responding to?
He ain't talking to himself. Is this a one-sided conversation?
Baby, that lady is that lady is different. She is always lying, and I just think her reputation is going to be ruined after this. She has tried this case very poorly. She has shown up to court numerous of times unprepared, and she has proven that she will lie in court. Courtney,
and she said it today. She said that Paige, she was like, after the judge helped me, or the judge is trying to help me or something. She knows that Paige is trying to help you prosecute your case because you look bad. As a whole, Fulton County looks horrible. The state of Georgia looks horrible.
You're right. It looks really bad. It looks really bad. And why the fuck you reply to email if it's a... Well, let me say this, because I do understand saying that you reply to email from a phone conversation. We talked about this yesterday. I always follow with the email from a phone conversation, especially about something like this. And Kamira, I do think they're gonna try to send Moon to jail. So I do think that. I think hold on, Erica. I can't. Oh, here it is. Keita, are you on here?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What's your thoughts from court today?
Listen, y'all done talked about everything, so I ain't got nothing to say. But can they please give her a new chair? Because I'm tired of the squeaks. Like, she is a clown, and the chair is really showing that she's a damn clown.
Keita, so
Amen.
today, because of y'all yesterday who kept mentioning that squeaky chair. When I say I heard that thing squeak so many times.
It's like the chair even knows that she's a clown. Like they can't get her a chair. And then somebody in the chat gonna say, "Oh, y'all must have never sat in a leather chair." I didn't sat in leather chairs, and they ain't never squeak like that because I'm not a clown. They only squeak for a clown.
I sit in one every day.
Clown sounds like Wanda Sykes. That reminds me of Wanda Sykes.
Man,
that is true though. Y'all, it squeaked so much today, and when I can't tell y'all how many DMs I got about. Did you hear that chair squeaking? I hate that people when y'all catch petty stuff. It's like, man, I can't believe you didn't see this. I said, Lord.
Well, hold on. Let me say this, and then I gotta go because I'm as bad as you. My phone is on 5%, 6%.
It's cool. You'll close us out because I'm getting off anyway in the set by 7:45 because I gotta go do some homework.
But why your boy Mooktoon was on live the other day, riding around. He done rolled past Magic City talking about y'all want me to go in Magic City, whatever, whatever. His daughter was on the live, so she was like, "You drunk?" He like, "Nah." Now keep in mind, he driving around. He got his cup, and then he gonna pick up a bottle of Tito's talking about, "I drink this because I'm a diabetic."
What?
Why is you on live riding around drinking and then gonna show it? And then got off the live because he done pulled up to a club and he done ran across somebody and he was like, "Oh, we not supposed to be together. We can't take no pictures together." And then he hurried up and ended the live.
Okay, so I take back what I said. He has not learned. He probably was just laughing in court to laugh because that's insanity. The fact that you are on probation, you cannot have any violations, and you would be so dumb. He has not learned from this case. You'd be so crazy to post yourself drinking and driving.
Exactly.
Still being childish. That's right. Let me tell you, Motu, he needs not be drinking and driving. He needs not be drunk. That leg already bad. He gonna mess up that other one. He's gonna mess up.
He also pulled up his shirt. He got a big old scar going up his stomach. He was like, "Yeah, I done been shot, but they not gonna bring that up. They not gonna talk about that."
He needs to stay off Instagram. They have not learned. The entire case is primarily Instagram. Sir, he's trying to ride this Woody wave. Thank you.
He is.
He is not Woody.
I was finna say that. Because why did you think you was gonna have the same effect? It hasn't worked for anybody but Woody.
Right.
That's crazy to me, and I think that's why they're really mad. It has not worked, but I don't know. I just don't think Monsoon has the savviness that Woody has to make this stuff happen. Because my boy Woody, you're not gonna convince me that boy ain't ran up $500,000. Like Woody is really, really looking at this stuff, and he's doing what he needs to do. He has YouTube, he got multiple Instagrams, multiple TikToks. Like Woody's being, he's being smart with it. He's being smart. I just don't know. Monk, that's a dumb move because don't go to jail.
But then this dummy did wipe his nose when he was leaving court. He told a lie. He did wipe his nose because somebody caught it and posted a video. He did.
Wait, time out. So he really did that.
He did.
But do you think he was doing it to intimidate the jury, though? I just don't see that.
I don't think he was doing it to intimidate him. I think he was doing it to try to be funny.
Okay. So I don't even know that because and I say that because I really think Monsoon has done the best he can to just do what he need to do and get off this stand. I really do think that. So maybe he really was, his nose is itching for real.
I mean, maybe.
Because look at Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill wiped the hell out of his nose. I knew exactly what he was doing.
But if somebody reported back to Love that he did it. She ain't see it. So I'm pretty sure somebody done seen him on Instagram driving with his damn bottle of Tito's.
I think those people that sit behind her, I definitely think those people are looking at Instagrams, TikToks, everything. Because they're like someone pointed out the fact that Miss Love definitely went to that law and crime chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Hold
And
on.
they see what y'all said about their hair.
Erica, my sister FaceTimed me. I think I told y'all this on live. She said, Mel, Miss Hilton got her hair done. I said, Miss Hilton saw that they said she better go ahead and take them braids out. And she came with it. She came with a wrap. So I'm sorry. You're not going to convince me that they are not looking at this trial.
I hope
trying
the
to get close.
humidity in Georgia is ridiculous and that hair is so frizz right now.
Erica, when I saw you said I hope it's humid in Georgia, I said, you know what? Poor Miss Hilton. Poor Miss Hilton.
But
But
hold on.
I'm gonna let you guys close us out because it's almost 7:45. Tell me the funniest thing. And in the chat, because I see y'all too. I'm reading the chat as well. And I know people in the chat, we're all talking. I need your funniest thing from court today. What was the funniest moment for you? I think for me, it wasn't really funny, but it was like when Moontoon told Miss Love, I'm not your child. That whole back and forth was it for me.
Yeah, I loved every bit of it because, yeah, he felt exactly how I felt. Because I had, right before he said that, I told my boyfriend, I said, look, if Woody was on that stand, he would have said, why is you talking so aggressive? Because she was out of line.
She was out of pocket. She was out of pocket. And I mean, it didn't go over well. It didn't. He told Miss Love, I
I
mean,
had
he
2 parts.
doubled down on it. He doubled down on it. That's what was, he doubled down on it.
But hold on. Oh, I forgot one thing. Hold on. But how you get in court starting off, oh, I'm so sick. Oh, like you can hardly hear her. Then when she get into it and thinking she did something, oh, she amped up and pretty much hollering. Like, that cold medicine and that ginger ale really did that for you?
They said they need whatever syrup she took. They need that.
Unless it was
My
lean, because I'm not
grandkids
taking
are
it.
sick. They need it. God damn it. I need to go get what she had because they is in there coughing and everything. I need her to give me the formula.
Wait a
I had
minute.
2 parts.
Go ahead.
My 2 parts is when she said, "Can we rewind?" and he said no. Took me out. Took me out, honey. When I say out, like I stopped working.
He told it's too late. It's too late. Like he's already mad.
Can we rewind? No. And she came back very calm. Man, it's
And
too
how
late.
long did that last?
Oh, not long. Not
2
long.
questions. And then when Brian Steele, in true Brian Steele form, very respectful and polite, and said, "I would like to put on the record for he was doing it for Paige, and provided her with case law to prove that even though you're the judge, I know the law and I'm right. And
He
here's the
needed
case
to
law
do
so you
that.
can look at it in your own free time." And
Erica,
I wanted it on the record.
baby, he needed to do that. And I did not see that. So I'm gonna have to go back. But that may have been, I went to the kitchen for a sec while he was up. That may have been during that time. But when I came back, I did hear him kind of tell her, like, this is my case. I get to try how I want. I'm happy he said, Paige, you can't think for him. You cannot think for this man. He said, I can go left. Okay. Y'all, it was some funny moments today. Y'all, I got to get off here and go do my homework. I'm trying to stick to my schedules because I will sit up here with y'all all day. But thank y'all so much for joining the live today. I'll be back doing lunch tomorrow. After lunch tomorrow, then I'll start on TikTok and move over here. I am trying to build this page up, so I appreciate you guys for following me over here. I'm trying to post everything, just to make sure I have some content while I take my time moving everything from TikTok to over here. So I appreciate you guys. I love all you guys. Have a blessed night. If you got homework to do, get off this live and go do your homework. Good night, everybody. We ended early today. This is crazy. I love y'all. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.